दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट।
After a grueling and exciting stages of the wildcard, we finally bring you back the Switch stage this time in the Mythic Showdown, where the top teams in India are going to be facing off against each other for the Supreme title. Now, this is going to be the first match and the first day of the Switch stage. With me, I, myself, and Zio, your host, and with me, I got Ray and Peachy for as our casters for tonight. So first match of the day, right? It is Tartarus versus Team Peak to Plummet. Now, what do you guys have to say about this? Let's start with Ray.
Of course, it is exciting to be here because, of course, we've been here since day one. And Tartarus, we've been waiting to see Tartarus for a very long time. Just like we were discussing before, even the casting itself, right? Tartarus, they've been a little bit inactive on the tournament scene lately. I want to see if they've been practicing scrimming, because I definitely think Peak to Plummet are, because last time they appeared after a long break, they were able to dominate the enemies very easily. So let's see if it's going to be the same, or Tartarus will just show themselves to be the stronger team again.
Certainly, Tartarus. It's always fun to have Tartarus to watch Tartarus, but we can't forget about Peak to Plummet, right? They are one of the strongest teams as well. PG, what do you have to say about this?
Again, I'm pretty sure they are here to dominate, but Peak to Plummet, they also had some kind of a break coming in. Plus, you are seeing them going against with the number one team so far in India. It's going to get an exciting match, so I hope you guys are ready for it. But at the same time, Peak to Plummet are all ready. They just knew, day before yesterday, who are they facing? I'm pretty sure that they have studied.
Yeah, certainly. They would have done their homework, right? Because even if it's a Swiss stage, you would want to go first match with a bang. I mean, it starters that you're going against one of the strongest teams that we have in India right now. And I think, fear of the teams being stronger, then you should definitely be there for all the teams, regardless of any of the teams, even if it's Tartarus, even if it's Peak, even if it's IGN, even if it's any other teams, right? So definitely we will be getting to see those homeworks, if they did or not, in this drafting phase. So let us move on. Tartarus having the first pick. This is gonna be a best of 3 series between Team Tartarus and Team Peak that we have right now.
Yep, absolutely. And we're going to proceed with Tartarus first pick, just like you mentioned. And I'm really curious to see, because, last time in the previous patch notes, because Tartarus, the last time we saw into them was during White Fighters Arcadia. They were at the top dogs, basically. And in that tournament, they were able to, their draft was, I would say, a little bit predictable for me, at least. Okay. So if they're still remaining that way, it's going to be hard, because patch notes have changed. We have a different kind of a meta right now. Assassin isn't actually the best thing that you can go for. And hey, we're actually looking at a substitute today. It's Taser. It's going to be interesting.
Oh. Okay, what is he going to play though? We do have Kimmy, the room is there,
EXP.
the jungle is there. Oh, okay.
EXP. Taser likes EXP in room, yeah.
Yeah, as much as I remember, isn't he the manager for Team Tartarus?
Yep, manager / also substitute when he needs to be, right? I mean, that's a dream, yeah, he's just really well prepared just in case his team needs him. So yeah, really good. But let's see. Taser, I know he's a good manager as well as a good player, but of course that 5-man synergy, it's a little hard to get it if you're not regularly screaming, because I definitely believe they scream most with their 27, right? So yeah, let's just see how it figures out while our host Zio is going to be on the background. I still see you. I still see you, Zio. Don't worry. Hello there. but yeah. On the other hand, though, let's see the lineup for Peak to Plummet. Okay, we have Lemonade, check, Savage Warrior present, Skyzen present. But we have Charin. I think he wasn't in the last time, but this time he's here actually. I'm interested in Charin and the respect to Skyzen immediately banning out his Moskov. That's pretty intense.
I agree. He's definitely a very good assassin player. So I want to see if the Ling is back on his track or not. Given the fact that the Ling, it's just his popularity and in some kind of team composition, he is back. But at the same time, I really love how the side of team Tartarus have banned up with the Moscow. It is a direct respect ban for Skies, and they don't want to open it up. They know what how they'll feel when it's in the hands of Skyzen.
Okay, banning out the horse as well. Interesting. I'm really curious what lineup they're gonna go for. Are they just creating a safe space for Taser? Because I feel like that's the case. Because 27 is a versatile man. You don't have to worry about him winning or losing his lane because they trust him. It's not that they don't trust Taser, but it's pretty evident that they're kind of showing that they are a little bit hesitant on the fact that, Taser, he's a substitute, right? He's a substitute. So that really matters a lot because Peak to Plummet, they're kind of playing with their main lineup. If Charin is regular, Charin is the one regularly playing from here point on. That's basically their main lineup. I'm really curious to see, but at the same time, we do have the four powerhouses. We have Kimmy, we have Joseph, Eden, and of course, India's gold standard at this point right now, it's Kyle. Because of course, Radium is not into the scene, so there's actually no one that can contest him. But hey, yesterday we did have the podcast, and I'm looking forward to when Brendan can face him. But until then, immediately lock on into the obviously
Look at it.
Luka.
Interesting. I mean, understandable, Tartarus, as you already mentioned, how the assassin plays are just, quite on the second step. So it's just best better to pick up something like this. The Katurkats are yet up for a grabs. I don't think that they might be prioritizing it, given on the fact
My
that
wife is
Peak to
open.
Plummet. Yep, she is. I don't. Oh, okay, but they are not going in for that though. They are just. They don't want to give out the Bakshia. Bakshia is just another pick who's just placing so much importance, be it the XP lane or be it the roamer or the jungler itself.
And obviously, huge shout out to the production at Indian Gaming Corps, who's the one presenting this whole Mythic Showdown. Look at him, my wife in 3D. Holy, she looks amazing. Well, rest look great too, but I'm just gonna focus on Zushin. And oh my god, two things. First of all, she looks amazing. Damn. And second, Eden on Zushin, that's a death sentence, I would say, because I don't think you wanted to give such a control mage into the hands of Eden, of all people. Unless they have a way to counter out with it. Okay, they pick up the glue. Interesting. I'm a little bit, skeptic about the interaction between a glue and, Zushin. Yeah, she can throw him around, but at the same time, glue can just become those little things with the grab and just be a little bit of a menace. So it is interesting. I'm gonna wait. So that basically cements that this is most probably gonna be a jungle Baksha.
Oh, highly possible. Highly possible. I want to see. The EXP is out of the way, because of the glue. I don't think the glue would be going onto the road. Very less chance that we would be looking at the Parkshire. But if it's in the, Rome, I feel like he is going to put in a lot of labor in the land of Dawn, given the fact that you have the Katutkasa. Katutkasa at the max, he's going to come with the revitalize. It's going to slow them down. It's going to, stop that healing. It's just what Abaxia does.
But right now MPL Grand Finals is also going on as we speak, and Baksha Rome is suddenly making this space for a reason I'm not aware. Okay, I honestly feel like it's a preventive pick rather than a strategic pick because come on guys, there's so many better options for the Rome. Like Baksha is the last thing I think. Like if I'm gonna be a coach, honestly, Baksha is not in my mind to be a roamer because he just doesn't fill any of the slots. You're better off playing like a Uranus on Rome. But yeah, the same thing applies here as well. I want to see if this Baksha is gonna go to jungle or not. Concrete, but oh, there we go. There's a what am I even saying? Kalia and Carry. I was about to say, hey, wait a second. Then even if you replace their second syllables, it's basically the same Carry Kalia. What am I? Carry Killia, just swap it out. But yeah, they really pay respect to, of course, Savage Warrior. Don't want to give out any mage that can disrupt the Eden. So let's see. So far, it looks good on their hands, though.
I do feel like something is open though. I still feel like they can go in for that, but okay, Farsa coming into the play. Understandable, they want that range against the Zushin. It's kind of easy to overwhelm a Zushin with this Farsa pick.
Yes.
Pop the feather airstrike is just she's just gonna scatter. She just have to find in refuge no matter what. Who's gonna play in that area on that hitbox?
Yes, exactly. This is what I was about to just mention. The Zushin's two weaknesses, actually. One is obviously eliminating her, assassinating her, 1 versus 1, taking her down, flanking, like basically typical how a mage can be taken down, right? But the second thing is overwhelming her. And Farsa is really good at it. If you can zone out the Zushin, it just really makes things easier. Oh, Claude is looking good on 3D as well. But there we go. The chip comes in. So I'm really curious. Yeah, the chip. That basically
I
means Mhm.
I
you.
was anticipating a pick though. I know Team Tartarus, they are one of the teams who are very quick with the metas and all. They are very quick with the
Mhm.
macros, and I really like how they have capitalized this chip. Again, this is why the Bluey band is there. This is kind of a hint that they are going to pick a chip.
Mhm. You know, picking up the Carmilla at the end. So that
Force fed.
cements the fact, yeah, that cements the fact that Baksha is gonna go for the jungle. Really amazing. Lemonaire on that Granger, basically gonna go for that snowball overall. On the other hand, though, sorry, the Claude pick, I actually love it because Claude, Demon Hunter Sword, can meld the tanks. He has
Yes.
flanking abilities with the BMI, and he can also win out the lanes due to his fast mobility. Great, like the issue with Granger leaning against Granger is the fact that you get shot because when it's shooting out the Rhapsody, you get shot. But right now, since the Claude is so mobile, I feel like it's a really, really good pick. And it's been a while since I've seen Kyle onto the action, so I'm really, really looking forward. But overall, the draft looks great from both ends. I do have high hopes. This is just game number 1, and it already looks solid. And I'm just gonna be focusing on my wife until then.
Well, I really like how everything is just, so 3D, so lively. Just, it's out of the life, and I really like that. But we'll soon dive into the Land of Dawn. You guys get braced for this, get braced up for this match. It is Tartarus versus Team Peak to Plummet. Two of these teams, major powerhouse. Here we go into the Land of Dawn.
Absolutely peachy, and we gotta pump up the energy up because it's Tartarus in the house today after such a long while. They're back into the tournament scene, and of course, because it's a major one, they only play the big ones, right? But yep, there we
Yeah.
go. Peak to Plummet is back again into the action as well. 2 teams into the Mythic leaderboards. Let's see how they perform against each other after such a long while. If they're doing regular scrims, I think they would be aware. But if they haven't with each other, it's going to be a little bit of a stranger danger. Let's see how it goes. Taser with that Gatot Kacha. He really loves it. He might be contending with Sojin. But overall, 0-4-0. No first blood just yet. Zushin just going to be poking it out.
Zushin's going to have an easier time into the early game. The Lantern Flare is going to just pick them up, but at the same time, Carmilla needs to be very, very quick. I really like how Skyzen is playing it quite safe enough. He knows, he's very aware that a chip might be around. This is the problem with the chip. You need to be very, very much aware. If you are not, you can be picked off. The same goes for the Bakshia. You're on the Bakshia, you have to make sure your team's around. If you're not there, it just loses the purpose of having a Carmilla.
Absolutely. And right now, I think we just have to wait for obviously the first hurdle engage. Bakshia most of the time wins out the retribution battle, but Lucas also has abundance of
It's
basically
Joseph.
skills that can obstruct, because of it. And also, of course, it's Joseph, lazy boy. He still kept that name, but already into the mid lane, they're trying to
I,
melt out glue. That basically
I
means
said,
we were
I,
discussing it, remember? Romcom
yeah.
said, just before the turtle, they make me so low, bro. A nightmare for EXP. But It's a glue.
Okay.
Grab still available. Let's go.
Oh, the Tartar fight is on without the feathered airstrike dealing so much damage. Now you're talking about them picking up the first blood. That would be the side of Team Peak Diplomat trying to get the Kimmy down, and they will be not successful with that. But the flicker, though, he's just there. He just pops the flick at the right moment.
And right now, Peak Diplomat, just like I expected of them, despite that early lead that we could cement on the draft of Tartarus, Peak Diplomat is not a team that you can undertake at all. And just like you mentioned, the weakness of Chip, they were able to utilize it. Skyzen, they have to make sure he doesn't stack up. They have to make sure he gets taken down. But maybe they're just gonna let Kyle deal with it. Like, hey, Kyle, we trust you. You just farm your lane, and maybe possibly you can take down Skies and in between of that as well. But let's see if so far the rotation has been not a 4-1 rotation actually, but I mean Peak to Plummet likes to go for the 4-1 rotation sometimes a little bit early than before other teams. But Skyzen here, I think Skyzen likes to build Skypiercer on second item, so that means he's gonna go for that Hunter Strike first. So until then, he's basically gonna be playing a little bit safe. But what we are seeing in the river area, okay, so far warning shots only.
Joseph just trying to find his prey. He's just like moving around, but I really love how they are very much focused at the top lane. I feel like Charin's a little bit behind, but the level difference though, it's quite a lot. Charin almost at 8, while Joseph not yet. The Ferret strike will be here. Just a warning shot. Kyle though, he is here. Oh, did you just look at his name though? He changed his name. King Kyle.
King Kyle, like King.
Yeah.
I love
That
that. I love that. Even
the
Eden,
play.
Three Musketeers. That's a nice name. That's a nice name. It suits him. Overall,
That's
who else changed name? Nah, everybody else is same. Joseph, you should
oh,
have changed from Lazy Boy or something else. Something. Oh, the turtle spawn animation as well. Oh my
yeah.
god, I just realized the whole theme has been changed. But anyways, we'll discuss about it later because the turtle engaged Joseph nowhere nearby, or is he?
Remasking as the purify is just not enough. That would be a turtle going down into the hands of Team Peak to plummet once again. Kimmy in a very bad position will be taking the feather hair strike. The shots are right on his head.
Also the fact that so far, I just feel like Team Tartarus was not really prepared for the turtle engages, because if they were, what you'd first do is bait out Savage Warrior, take his ultimate down. Skies, and with that play, immediately gets a kill for himself.
King Kyle being taken down, and here's a fun fact. Alucard. Alucard. I think you guys know already about this fact. You guys have seen a lot of Alucard players. I don't think it's only me who's having a lot of Alucard players recently on my rank games. So I think
Hey,
that you
I
guys
might be
know.
one of them,
Oh
but
my
I
god.
win. I win, all
Oh,
right. I win. I have MVP with 17 kills and 17 deaths. Don't ask me. But yeah, so far 0-4, and I'm really loving the color of the Swiss stage, from the red to the purple-ish to that gold one. It's looking really solid. Huge shout out to IGC again. Their production never misses. Absolutely the
not
best in India, no doubt, easily. But yeah,
yet.
we can glaze them later on. They're our boss. We gotta do that for our payment increase. Joking. Do increase our payment though. But yeah, so far Kyle really facing a lot of difficulty because
No
boom.
way! Savage Warrior, right on the side. He's too savage today into the land of dawn. He's just, making sure that they are marking down Kyle as much as possible. But this is not a problem for Kyle.
Yeah,
His power
absolutely.
spike is yet to be there, but into the middle lane, I do see something, but it's just a little bit there. You know, Taser though, on that Gacha, I don't think his presence have been up very much, but he's just waiting for the window of opportunity. But here we are with another turtle. Look
Oh,
at
the
that.
chip.
Sharon picks it up once again. Chip with a shotgun will be
Oh,
taking down the Carmela, doing a god's work, but at the same time they are moving in for more. They want some more. Lucas with the Unleash the Beast. AOG dropping in. Dust connects to one. Doesn't matter. It's on the back line. It's on the glow. And you're talking about how Tartarus does wants to accept this fight anymore.
Yeah, they're kind of in a little bit of a hard place right now. 0-4-6, Tartarus is looking like not in a form. And it's honestly, I'm not blaming Taser, but of course, lineup switches, they really hurt you because synergy as well as experience and everything, it counts down. Maybe Taser is just not able to provide that much of aggressiveness that 27 is able to. But at the same time, it's Tartarus we're talking about. 8-12 minutes. Those are
Yeah,
the times that we need to look out for Tartarus to make their place. They like to do that
definitely.
a lot. But at the same time, that's the issue. Peak to Plummet has a Granger. They can make a bounce back, but the thing is that Skyzen might be too fat because look at Savage Warrior itself. Almost was able to take down Sushin.
But now that they know, I'm not sure if they are well aware that the flickers and the purifies are in the cooldown. I feel like Team Tartarus, they can go in. They have to get Taser. He is there. He's just providing those, you know, uh, instances of AOG, but it's not reaching the back lines. Savage Warrior is too comfortable. Skyzen is too comfortable. Look at his positioning. He's not coming out. He knows he has to get in the tank out. And without the tank, it's not being able to do that. But King Kylo, is it a good chance? Being all alone, I feel like he knows, oh, he can actually make the play. The vision's out, but they're moving. They're coming in. They're traveling. They're migrating.
You know, it's just that the rotational speed with the Baksha and Farsa is just so much this time around that even with the
Yeah.
chip, they are not really able to match it. That's the whole issue. Even if, and also considering the fact that they are always 5 people together because they already cemented the early game advantage. Right now, the chip's presence is just kind of gone. Like, what is Chip supposed to do? Like, who is he supposed to take down? This is a 4-1 rotation, classic one. Baksha is just gonna rotate alone. Can you take him down? No, he's level 13, a beefy boy. And right now they're gonna go for the Lord. They're
But
just not in
but
any position. But
but
okay, they're going for a preventive. What is that, Kime?
wait a minute, Kimmy, though. Look at that. That comes the curse of blood. Doesn't connect quite well to Kimmy. Would be the first one to take down. The chip is there with the shortcut, but oh, they are here already, so I don't think they have to come here. But at the same time, members are falling down from this side of Team Tartarus one by one, while Peak to Plummet are thriving. Wait a minute, Joseph tries to make a play, but he knows he's all alone, along with 3 musketeers. Will Eden be actually to come up with a play, trying to take down Charin because the Lord is quite more important. The Charin moving away with a sliver of HP
Grab.
and no way. Joseph, he's trying to survive. Only the back
Oh, bam!
will be taken down. They are so low. Peak to Plummet. What is happening? Okay, Kevin just comes at the right moment. Aizen all alone. Lebanon is there to provide some backup, and yet they are not falling down. Team Peak to Plummet, they are on a roll.
0-4-11 against Tartarus. Peak to Plummet. I told you, these guys, when they're back into the scene, they come with a bang. Maybe they don't win this series, but the way they've been able to dominate Tartarus of all teams, it is absolutely insane. 0-4-11, 11 minutes in. Kimi is just not able to do anything. Absolutely. That chip pick, I feel like it was kind of last minute, but at the same time, it also kind of cements the fact that that synergy, it's not there just yet. So far, they're trying to go for that split push. They once sent King Kyle, and right now they're pushing for Joseph, knowing well aware they can't really go for the Lord, right? They can't really go for the Lord. So basically, they have to bite the bullet and just wait to defend it. So far, looking at their game plan, they just have to prioritize on some mistake that Peak to Plummet can make. Other than that, what they can really do? I mean, Kimi is trying to go, but what? There's a Carmilla.
Yeah.
The Carmilla is just disabling, and they cannot go all 5 together. That's the risk. Because of it,
And
they have to wait. They have to be patient, and Kimi
yes.
just gets taken down by that time.
And top of that, the range that the FASA provides is just too much. But wait a minute, I do see Skyzen popping out the wind of nature against Joseph. He tries to go in once more, but the Sky Piercer hits right on point. He will be taken down. Another kill for them, but the Lord's marching down. Team Tartarus has to focus on the Lord so that they won't be losing in any more turret. We were talking about Chip just now, and I feel like they went in for the Chip thinking they will be finding someone off guard. But this game, Peak to Plummet, None. They are not out. Look at them, 5 to 5 into the mid lane. The curse of blood is there. That's just to give them the the trailer that we will be coming in, but just not now.
They were able to do a successful defense, but at the score of 0-13, with around 6K gold climbing to 7 into the hands of Peak to Plummet right now. They already got Lord. Majority of the turrets are down. No longer tier 2s are standing. Oh, a fun fact. Did you know Lela starts off slow, but the donors are smart her late game. You gotta remember that, and hopefully nobody picks up a Lela though, because it's gonna be risky. But finally, a play from Tartarus top lane.
Kaizen will be shut down. AOG drops in at the very right moment. Lemonade will be taken down. Challenge thus gets a trade on, but Savage Warrior, the shutdown. This is where Team Tartarus are striking back, but the Chardon won't be stopping. King Kyle, he's on them. Eden just waits it off for him to go off. But wait a minute, they don't spot Chardon. Aizen has to go back, has to go take the D, the L, and go back.
Take the D and the L. Really interesting
Yes.
choice of words there. D for defeat, right? Because they did not win that team fight at all. Immediately, I always tell you, 12 minutes mark, watch out for Tartarus. And Peak to Plummet were not ready. Immediately, the score went from 0-13 to 4 down immediately. The only one left standing was Charin, and even the mid turret is down. It's pretty clear Tartarus is slowly making their bounce back, as they're already well prepared to really make the comeback on this game number 1, because they took down Skies and got hefty amount of bounty from him. He was 605. Right now he's 615. That is a lot of bounty that was lost out. And looking at the goal, it's actually 6,000 gold lead down to 1. It is absolutely insane how one wrong engage or one advantage from the enemy can change everything. Right now the second Madara is up. There we go, Lord spawn in. Love to see it again and again. Tartarus pick off one more important factor. And of course, Kiwi gonna do that. He's gonna do that.
True, this is Lord going in. It looks like it will be going down into the hands of Team Tartarus. No contest so far. P tried to come with a retaliation, but they are not getting it. Lemonade would be the first one taken down. That would be Savage Warrior as well. They're losing those ranges. They're losing the damage dealers. King Kyle, his power spike has just came up. He will be dealing damage. You're just looking at the same, but Charan, he has to survive. Will he be able to do?
I don't think so. Yep, immediately a shutdown into the hands of King Kyle. I mean, he named himself for a reason. He's not wrong calling himself a king. Hey, Lucas. Oh, that was a clutch. He used his ultimate to regen because he was just about to get taken down. That was close. He even uses the emote because he knows he was like the water came up to his nose, but he had to jump up. But mid lane, blazing duet, come in.
Chip is there, but Lemonade, King Kyle with the blazing duet tries to take them down, but the turrets are just falling down. Here Team Peak to Plummet are losing the control. They are not able to get the same control they had there in the map. Just see the difference between the two Lord. First Lord, it was into the Peak of Plummet. Only tier 2s have been gone. One of the tier 2s still standing up, but when it started with the Lord, they just swept up the whole lane. They were not focused on getting those early games because they knew they can capitalize the late, and they are doing the same. They gave space to King Kyle to actually farm up, and I think that's going to be a problem. Skyzen as well, they are just shutting him down quite quickly.
Absolutely. And right now, as the game progresses into that 17 to 18 minute mark, that basically cements the fact that Tartarus' lead is back. They are bouncing and they are clapping back, but that's the thing about Tartarus, and that's the thing about Peak to Plummet. They are looking for a way to retaliate, and Charin might be the next target, but Carmilla is aware, and so is Skyzen. They're trying to make sure none of their members are left alone, but Lemonade is going back. That basically means Charin can be taken down. Let's see. Which target does Tartarus want to capitalize on? But all of the members look like it's gonna be the glue.
Aizen, he moves back. He does have the flicker, but a lot of times I have seen Savage Warrior being picked out right before the team fight could start. That is a problem because he was the one who could provide that control there. He was the one who was just, scattering the side of Team Tartarus. But when he's taken off, this is where Team Tartarus are picking up the advantage. This is where they are coming in. Look at that. They have the control over their place, not own place, but their own place. Team Peak to Plummet. Okay, here we go. Shortcut coming in, but King Kyle not just committing it to as of now. Do you think this is a early shortcut coming in, given the fact that Team Peak to Plummet have a very good chance to actually contest? But wait a minute, Savage Warrior will be taken down. Unstoppable picked up by Joseph. That is a total damage onto the side of Team Peak to Plummet.
King Kyle just got his rose gold, so immediate burst from the far side as well as Skyzen is not gonna be there. So that basically means that so far Kyle is just gonna be in a really good spot. And what a complete turnaround from 0-13 to a 9-16, and actually the Lord and the goal advantage is standing at Tartarus right now. And that just cements the fact why Tartarus is considered a top team. You might have the early game, but the bounce back was so quick that I don't think Peak to Plummet was even prepared. And I think there's another bounce back coming immediately on to Carmilla. Winter Crown?
He's there with the Cause of Blood, but that will be dispersed. I really like how they connected with the shortcut as well, but they have spent quite a few resources. They have to wait it out. I really like how Charan has picked up a immortality so that he can frontline easily with the Lord marching in, going to go in with a big whoosh. And Charan though trying to go back. Taser makes the AOG play, but he is too alone. No backup for his side. But wait a minute, King Kyle, he's kind of low and they are not committing.
Interesting enough, I really thought that Tartarus would be committing despite the fact that Joseph got taken down for a simple fact. Skyzen doesn't have the flicker. And also, a few more spells were not in the inventory for Peak to Plummet, but looks like they want to go for the safer approach. They did get the inhibitor turret, so I feel like going for the safer approach was so much better than going in a little bit blindly aggressive. But Tartarus, they sometimes like to do that play because it kind of catches the opponents off guard. Because, just like many people, viewers would be thinking, Peak to Plummet thinks the same. They are not going to commit, They think Tartarus will not come. And that's when Tartarus actually engages. But this time around, Tartarus is actually playing a very disciplined game. And it's actually really good that they're paying respect to Peak to Plummet because they are well aware that there could be a danger. Crimson Beacon baited out, but that basically means that both of these teams don't have the mid laner utilities right now, and they can go for a 4v4 immediately. But at the same time, maybe waiting in for the Lord that's going to be coming in for 50 seconds would be the best possible window. So far, the match is that intense pace where every second counts. But Joseph!
Charan, he marks down, but the Winter Crown play will be there. Will he be able to escape? No, Taser jumps in with the taunt, and he thus gets it at the right moment. Targeting the Farsa is just a way to go.
And right now, they are really doing an immaculate job at how they were able to catch. I mean, this is what you really do. Like, try to disorientate your opposing team when they have a, not slow exactly, the chip. They have the chip. So they can make those kind of a play. Early game, it was hard for them to do because they all five were rotating together. And right now, it's just that a little... Okay, for the play.
The fight has broken off. Look at that. There's a lot of ultimates coming in, but three musketeers at the back lanes. He knows who's to pick it up. Savage Warrior as well as Aizen once again will be taken down. Joseph though, he's dealing damage. He knows immortality will be helping Charan, but that he sleeves with the sliver of HP. They got Aizen, they got the glow, quite a lot of advantage. But Savage Warrior though, why did he jump in once more when the tank is not there? When the tank is not in the front lane. But once again, King Kyle with the solo Lord. He is the Lord. He can do it.
Of course, it's a Claude. The lifesteal is there. And also it really helps with the attack speed and everything. Looks like Kimi is well prepared to make another engage. Winter Crown pops in.
Yo, look at that. Joseph will be taken down. That's too much turret damage, but the turret will be taken down. There's a red Lord moving down, but at the same time, Skyzen trying his best to deal damage with the Rhapsody. He knows he can melt down King Kyle 1v1, but the problem is the team. They are all together. They are providing King Kyle to jump in and jump back right out safely.
13 to 18 score right now. The goal lead doesn't really matter anymore because it's a late game. Lord already into the base. Tartarus can't make the play that they can go for. No inhibitor standing, but they choose the way of the discipline, choose the way of patience, because any wrong move right now, a full man wipe out, it's basically a turnaround again. Peak Diplomat is looking for that window to bounce back any second, but so is Tartarus. They have already bounced back completely, preserving their tier 2 turret on the bottom lane even as well. So that basically means that they do have a little bit leverage. They can afford one loss of a team fight. Peak to plummet, none. One loss, the base is gone. And that is why it's 23 minutes in. The match is gonna go intense. I know, another fun fact. Did you know Gushan is a fast-paced assassin who traverses? Yep. I think almost all of the Northeast knows about Gushan. With the amount of Gushan mains, it is insane that we have in Northeast. But yeah, 13 to 18 right now, and no lanes left for Peak to plummet. I think this is just an intense wait. We just have to wait. What's gonna happen?
You know, Ray, I really like how Tartarus were not worried about the early game. Just a week ago, just few days ago as well. The gameplay was just trying to take the snowball from the early game, carried over to the mid, carried over to the late, and have that tempo, have that in your hands. But it has changed completely. You're not looking at teams trying to take down the early game. It's okay if they lose the turtle. It's okay if they lose the Lord, but they know how to bounce back, which is a major thing. But at the same time, Sharon tries to jump in. I don't think he will be making a play out of it, given the fact that the Lord is up.
Absolutely. And Lord, I think it's 100% into the hands of Tartarus, but this game has went very late. But to be fair, Tartarus is the one who extended the game to have their advantage. Right now, they are aware that the Lord is being taken down. And immediately once the Lord is taken, Kimi will go for the engage. Look at it. I think the teleportation is coming any second. Grab Gab is there.
But he's kind of low though. Look at that, trying to go in. Shotgun coming in along with the AOG right onto the Granger. Granger loses the immortality, but the members are there to shut him down. Kimi himself will be taken down, trying to take down Skyzen, but at the same time, Glue though, he's looking quite low. He does get the taunt coming in from Taser, but wait a minute, Joseph with the map presence, he's already there with the minions. He loses the immortality, he gets stunned up by the Carmilla and will be going down. They have to regen in just few seconds. The Lord marching down, 42,000 HP just there. That's the Faraday strike coming in, while Taser looking quite, just 1/4 of his HP taunts on the Carmilla, and Eden
up to 12-minute mark, they basically had 0 kills, and that is pretty much insane. But of course, we're back with our beautiful host. Hello, Zero. Welcome back. I know you were on the chat, right? So, what do you think of the match? What did you think of the early game, though, when there was a 0-13?
The match was a roller coaster. I mean, yeah, first early game, it was just all Peak dominating the whole match until the around 12-minute mark. And then after that, things just turned out a whole turn. I mean, Tartarus, they just got their farm, they had their power spike there, and in that fit of a moment, right? The whole of Team Peak to plummet was just turned away. And they were getting choked.
uh, Peak to Plummet, they know what they have to. I am pretty sure they can bounce back very quickly. And top of that, let's not forget that Peak to Plummet, they were the most diverse play. They were the ones to bring that Moscow on the game. And Team Tartarus respecting it really shows that they don't want to face it. But the Granger, though, the Granger got the farm. Kyle got the farm very late. You're talking about him getting the farm after the 13th minute, not at the eighth minute. And I was expecting Team Tartarus to get that 8 minute, buff onto their side, but it was not there. It just completely went into the late game. So Team Peak to Plummet, they have to step up the late game. I want to see that rolling in quite quickly.
Absolutely.
Well, certainly the late game, right? I feel like Peak, they kind of let their guard down because they were winning the early game, and I think Tartarus, they kind of took the advantage of their of having their guard down, because the whole when they were fighting around the first Lord, right? It was the moment where Tartarus saw the window that they can actually win, because Lucas and Kyle on that Claude was doing a lot of damage despite being a lot beefy and tanky, right? So definitely, I feel like Tartarus, they were just waiting for the right moment. Confuse your enemy so that you can get them off guard, caught off guard, something like that kind of strategy. And can't forget, you have a Zushin and you have a Claude with the Demon Hunter, and we already got glowing one on Zushin. So definitely with those two having their items, getting their farm up, even if you have a quite a beefy or tanky lineup, I think they just get melted on quite a lot. Don't you agree, Ray?
Absolutely. And I think, Zio, of course, we have to take a short little break, So why don't you do the honors? Because you're the host, right?
Yeah, certainly. Before we bring you maybe the match point second or maybe the third match, we will be taking a short break. So hopefully everyone does stay hydrated and make sure to stay tuned in as well.
We're still here.
Why are we still here?
Just to suffer. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. A few technical issues have been faced by, of course, YouTube and stream. It will be fixed as soon as possible. Our production is getting into it. Until then, we get any confirmation with our earpiece. I think we'll stay standby. And of course, I think we'll just discuss about the game. Into the second phase, I feel like what this is, the sides are going to be switched, and that basically means that Peak to Plummet can go for the first pick. It is pretty obvious that Skyzen is still very into the comfort for the Granger, and that is good for the early game, but as soon as the late game came in, it was pretty obvious that Granger was overwhelmed tremendously. So I'm really looking forward to him playing a different marksman, because I feel like in the later phase, it was pretty clear that the marksman was not able to do much of its job, because of course in the later phases is the only one who can do it, because their lineup was mostly utility. Farsa is there for the range. I know she has burst, but in later phase everybody has some anti-burst item, rose gold, Athena, everything. So I feel like Farsa's value came down tremendously. And then there was also, who else? Glue, not exactly a damage dealer. Yes,
Farsa, in the late game, she got caught out many times. You're not talking about one or two times. It was every single team fight. Even with the Winter Crown, even with the Immortality, she couldn't make that play. That was definitely a liability for the Cyro team Peak to Plummet. I feel like the positioning should have been very good, given the fact that you have the range and you have the shortest cooldown. Not exactly the shortest, but it is in a mid range that you can spam at every 18 seconds, 18 to 20 seconds coming in.
Certainly. I mean, yeah, Peachy, there were times where around the last part, right? Around the last part, we kind of thought that Peak, they might have a chance of, have a comeback, because Lucas and one of them were already taken down despite the Lord marching in. If they were, able to defend that Lord, that enhanced Lord coming towards them, I kind of feel like they could have gone for a reverse sweep against Tartarus, but unfortunately, the Lord was just more than enough and too beefy for them to, finish up the whole match for them, right?
Absolutely. And also for all the audiences, and obviously who are a little bit confused, it seems like there was a glitch with YouTube and everything, and the match was cut out a little bit short. It was Tartarus who was able to win with the Lord obviously marching into the base, and there was just not enough lane clear because I think it was Skyzen who was down, and because of it, the base was ultimately lost. So for everybody who's lost out, that is basically what happened. We do apologize, but yep, technical issues, technology, you can never control it. It just sometimes decides to give up on you, just like my focus when I'm trying to study before the exams. But yeah, overall, the match was really great. And I think it was pretty obvious that Tartarus was going to win it out in the end due to the simple fact that they were able to bounce back immediately. But obviously, the production issues, everything will be fixed as soon as possible because our team is getting into it. And huge shout out to them for actually making so many things possible, because so many great overlays and everything custom made with fun facts and as well as animations. It obviously takes a lot of load, and huge shout out to the production for being able to do so. Obviously, it's the first day of Swiss stages with a lot of heavy things in mind, and it will only get better as we progress. So do support the obviously Indian Gaming Corps for making these things possible, as well as the issues that we're facing will be fixed soon. And right now, looks like we're not going to be going into any break because nobody wants any break, and it's going to be Tartarus versus PEAK Diplomat game number 2. Sorry for Zio overtaking you for a little bit. I just wanted to address the technical issue that the audience is faced. But anyways, thank you, Zio, again. Hey, why not you do the honors? Throw us into the draft.
Oh yes, definitely. This is gonna be the second match that is gonna be happening. It is gonna be match point for Team Peak and for Tartarus up as well. So definitely excited for the draft phase and gonna be moving on towards the game pretty soon. So Peachy and Ray, take it away.
Let's go. Game number 2, where Tartarus is standing on the bridge. If they cross it, it's their game. They are, cementing that they are the first one to give it up in a clean sweep. But Team Peak to plummet, they do have a chance to say, let's go, game number 3.
Let's see. Peak to plummet right now. The draft, it's going to be mattering tremendously for a simple fact. I feel like last game around, they did trust Skyzen, but it did not pull off in the end because against the Granger and the Claude, the whole thing, the main weakness for Granger is the simple fact that any mobile target, he's going to be facing a lot of difficulties to track him down, right? Because it's a skill shot. Claude, Irithel are direct counters for a simple reason that they move a lot. You cannot really target them down. And it was pretty obvious because King Kyle was diving into the back line and
he played it out very well. He played it out very well, though. Come on, he's my friend. I have to glaze him a little bit, or he's gonna come back at me. I'm pretty sure about that. But anyways, I think the respect band really came through for that gutter Kata quite easily. The taunts were on point, especially for the Carmilla. We did see in some moments the curse of blood were a little bit late than anticipated. I mean, the team wanted it quite quickly so that they can dish damage, but no, just few seconds also mattered a lot. But at the same time, Bakshia
because I have played them and it's not interesting. Yeah, I feel like he's just not that interested into it.
agree with that. But at the same time, you're talking about Harith getting banned for that, Kyle. Understandable. You don't want to give that. You don't want to give the Granger. But again, the Granger will be open. Maybe this game Moscow. Skyzen, there's like a 70% chance that we would be looking at the Moscow. But what kind of team composition will they bring out, given the fact that the Baksha is already gone? There's a lot of EXP laners also getting banned, as well as junglers. Junglers, there's a lot of option. Lucas, though. Will Charan go for that Lucas?
I think he can go for it. Yep, immediate lock-in. Lucas is just really provides tremendous amount of value onto that Sacred Beast form. Or right now, Kurama, right? So, of course. But at the same time, you know, for that Lucas over him. But I want to see. I want to see if they have different strategies overall.
Okay.
Half of my harem is here, 100%. I love both of these two, and half of my harem is here, 100%. I love both of these two, and of course, I can't emphasize it enough. Huge shout out to the production and IGC for making all of this possible. Like, I've talked with the production, and you guys can't believe how massive Zushin's file is, not something else. You know,
Huh?
it's massive, guys. You cannot imagine. It's massive. It's bigger than the game itself. Okay, but
I
yeah,
understand.
yeah, they're putting in a lot of effort, and it's really clear for pushing the boundaries of obviously providing the esports quality overall. Obviously, for the dear viewers who faced the issues early on, it was probably due to the YouTube glitch. Plus, obviously, a heavy rainfall season in northeast areas, especially a lot of places have heavy flood as well. So hopefully everyone is doing safe and sound. And due to that, we faced a few issues. But right now, let's just focus into the game. Tartarus versus Peak Diplomat, 1-pointer with 25 minutes game in. Tartarus bounced back in 12 minutes mark. Let's see what they can do with Peak Diplomat right now, as the sides have been swapped slightly, because Granger is in Kyle's hands and Lucas is in Charin's hands. And so is the chip. Completely, like, we're seeing a little bit of a, like, oh, you take mine, I take yours.
Ray, this is a wife
Yes,
versus
sir.
wife match.
Your wife
It's
versus my wife.
rivalry. It's on. It's on. Come on, Peak Diplomat.
For a simple reason, Epic Zushin. But of course, jokes aside, though, they are definitely not giving Skyzen the opportunity to play the Moscow for a simple reason. It's the global presence, SOD. You don't want that.
Split push is so much. The pressure when it gets so high, you have to put in your mage or your EXP laner to just clear those lanes. And if you don't, the pressure is going to just build up time by time. Both the teams are not new to lane pushing and having the good lane management. You just have seen how both the teams were trying to get it on, but unfortunately, Peak to Plummet, the late game was very, very haywire on their hands. So as of now, a lot of junglers getting banned, but at the same time, Won out of the scene as well. Okay, this game is definitely a lot of females and cat girls are getting banned off. So what will Skyzen go for?
Skyzen. I think it's possibly just gonna be an Aircel. It's gonna be an Aircel, or at most some form of pocket pick, like a not a Bruno. Bruno not gonna be good. I feel like Aircel, Claude, or Bruno. And at most, at the top of my head, no. It's either Aircel, Bruno, or Claude. Those are the only possible, chances I honestly see. Other than that, I feel like there's nothing else they can go for. No, they go for the carry. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. That's not a good pick in my opinion, because would have been so much better. I'm a little skeptical. Would have been so much better. I'm a little skeptical about it though. What do you think? I feel like it's it's not a good pick. I'm gonna be honest with you about it though. What do you think? I feel like it's not a good pick. I'm gonna be honest with you.
True though. True.
Situational because her range is extremely low. It's lesser than Moskov, so it's not good at all. Yeah, you can get the Malefic gun, increase it by 12%, but what about it? It's not going to help because it's already so low. And Granger just outranges you so heavily that the lane dominance is gonna be 100% into the hands of Kyle. So you're not gonna win out the lane. So the only thing you can do is win out the team fights. But to win out the team fights, you need to have like the damage. Carry takes very long to get the damage for herself unless it's with tanky targets and there's only one proper tank, and that's the Batang. So I just don't see any possible reason. ESL could have been so much better. They could have used the crossbow and just dish out the burst damage. But I'm really skeptical about the carry, but hey, Skyzen, please impress me. I would love to see it. But ladies and gentlemen, we're diving straight into the game between Peak to Plummet and Tartarus. This is going to be game number 2, and we're going to be focusing if Tartarus gets a clean sweep right onto the first day of the Swiss stages, or it's going to be a game number 3. Intercasting this, of course, it's myself, Ray, and I'm joined by the beautiful Lady Peachy, and another one is waiting for us at the host desk. That's Zero. We'll get back to her after the match. And so Peachy, overall, I think it's just going to be obviously a few poke.
First blood.
Wasn't
Joseph.
Savage Warrior. It was Joseph.
It was Joseph.
That is no way. Ain't no way. I really thought, okay, the flicker really worked out very, very well for Savage Warrior, which is a good thing. But now that early game,
It's their niche. It's their niche.
this is what I was talking about. Peak to Plummet once again with the early game dominance. They just want it onto their hands. But the late game, though, will they be making the same mistake? Kimmy amidst Lemonade and sandwiched between Eden as well. They have to move towards the top lane. They have to make sure that the carry will be shut down as well. But the carry does have already a kill and an assist, which is looking quite good. It's Kaizen you're talking about. He will be having that presence onto the team fights and making sure that he will be also participating in those. But Charin, though, I want to see assassins out of it, not the fighter junglers. It's a good pick. You're talking about how meta works. Yes, Lucas is definitely a good pick, but Charin, I feel like he shines a lot on those Ling and Hayabusas a lot.
Both of them are basically assassin players right now, and Joseph is on a little bit of a more comfortable spot for a simple reason that it's Suyo, so it feels that assassin role very well, and it's also a fighter. So yeah, overall, I just feel like the comfort is there, but it's pretty evident that Peak to Plummet just really excels into that early game. So until this game once again goes into that later phase, we probably won't see much of an engage that comes in from Tartarus. They are going in for a lot of poke, but it's not really exactly what you need, So overall, 3-4-0, Turtle spawned in. I feel like this time, okay, Suyo has the, that quick retribution because of the Soul Sever. Sometimes I forget one word and I completely miss it, but yeah, Soul Sever. So he can go for the Turtle Steal, but I feel like Tartarus is just, they are aware that it's a deja vu. Peak to Plummet has the early game, so just play the slow and intense game and just be patient with it.
let's see if they are able to get it or not. But Lemonade, though, he's on the chip this time. The chip has been there, but they have the Louis as well. I feel like the rotation wise, they can get it on quickly. They want to make sure that they are, giving not giving the space, but okay, there's a little bit of stunts coming in while the Barang also trying to give some kind of a set. But let me tell you, I have played with Taser, okay? His Barang is really goated. He really plays the Barang very, very well. His primary role being the marksman. Despite that, he shines a lot on the Barang. So giving him the Barang is going to be a very good thing. And I do have a fact about him. I did witness a match. He was playing the Barang.
recreating the things that they have done previously, that early game lead. But what they need to do is just stop that. Tartarus is able to make every second, and the only way they can possibly do is take down King Kyle. But that's the issue with the carry. She's not a marksman that can take down Granger or win the lane. So the whole team needs to pull up to take him down. But that is very expensive for them to do so, because look at Tartarus, they're already going in. Kimmy there.
Team fight though, look at them. They want to take it down, but Skyzen does get a kill. That would be the Lucas as well with another kill. Now Charin though, once again, this is definitely a deja vu moment for me. How targeted against a high loss
top lane.
Oh, wait a minute. The diversion was there. He's quite low, though. There's a jump coming in from this. Kalia trying to mark down Taser, but Taser will be taken. Oh, that's a mega kill for this carry. But look at that. Three Musketeers trying to move away. But he knows he does have the Lantern Flare, so he can put it up. But wait a minute. Tsunami-san coming in quite well for this. Joseph will be targeted down. Double kill picked up. Would it be a triple kill, given the fact that there's a stun for this Eden? And that's a triple.
It is absolutely insane how Peak to Plummet just demolishes early game. Like, how do they really, like, twice in a row, 8 minutes before? It doesn't even matter about the draft anymore, because last game it was Lucas into the hands of Joseph, right? So you would ask the question, why was Joseph not able to do it, right? And he's just proving it. Charin is just able to get that early lead, 6-0-2, but that comes at a price. That's a massive bounty you're putting on yourself, and that basically means the juicier the shutdown. And that, if Charin gets taken down, I feel like this game is just, again, a full-on Uno reverse, and they need to avoid that. So I would recommend Charin gets a few defensive items, at least a Winter Crown, maybe some Rose Gold, but into the top lane. Lemonaire wants to go in for Taser, but Flicker being baited out. No engages so far, few warning shots here and there.
That's true. Closing up the box shop that really gave the path for this high loss though. Now high loss, look at him. He knows his lane is already off, so yep, okay, once more with the same fact. You guys know it's Gusion, and the reward being pure deletation. Unless it's just some panic jungler, I feel like I've seen a lot of panic. God, Gusion round to the top lane. Okay, the middle lane, Taser will be taken down. Top lane, Charin will be taken down. Okay, Savage Warrior had missed 3 people. Tsunami Slam, a little bit short, but King Kyle with the Sky Piercer thus gets it on. But wait a minute, Joseph, he's on a chase. He's trying to move away, but Kimmy jumps in for that little bit of a heal from the passive. This is why the Kalia pick is such a goated pick.
Kalia is head and shoulders, like 5 problems, 1 solution. She's basically that, but 5 problems. No, it was just 1. But Skyzen wants to go in for more.
Oh, look at them. The shortcut will be there to provide them, but King Kylo, he's trying to move back. Flicker will be there. He gets the blast onto him, but Taser will be taking out, fighting in that radius where Skyzen is on 7 kills. Second man to go down. That would be Joseph. Into the mid lane, King Kyle. He doesn't have the flicker. They can commit, but will they be able to come out alive, which is a problem for Skyzen, just because he has a huge bounty on his head as of now. But wait a minute. Louis does can see a teleportation towards the bottom lane, which is a good.
He gets the items by getting the kills for himself, and it is just a really great rotation and synergy that's coming in from the hands of Peak to Plummet. They're just feeding everything to the hands of Skyzen right now. Job done by Charin. It's time for Skyzen to come online. But we gotta give credit to Joseph. He has been surviving a lot, but Tsunami Slam is it. Charin gets taken down again.
Second time into the 11 minutes, he will be shot down to the mid lane though. Wait a minute. Legendary picked up by Skies and double kill by King Kyle. Will it be a triple though? Skies and still hunting for more, but he knows if he overextends, it's going to be a problem. At the same time, now that the mid lane is gone, Lucas, the bushes. It's going to be quite easy for Taser as well as Kimmy to scout those bushes, making sure that they camp off for Savage Warrior as well as Aizen, because in the last game you have just seen how Savage Warrior was picked off and it just worked in their favor, especially for Tartarus, who wants that late game.
Absolutely. And so far they've been doing a really good job trying to prevent the basically they're having countermeasures, because last game around they realized that 12-minute mark is where Tartarus really pushes those forward, wants to go for that play. But right now, they're really trying to prevent it as much as possible. But hey, Tartarus, they still have time, they still have leverage, and they still have the resources to make a bounce back. 2,000 gold lead onto Peak to Plummet, which is not actually big enough. Unlike previous time, they had 6,000 gold. This time around, they're in a much better position. But yeah, Lord play. I feel like this is where we might see Tartarus go for a complete switcheroo. But let's see. Taser providing a little bit of vision, a little bit of poke. Oh, there's a device. Oh, Taser detects it out. Unfortunate, or is it?
A setup, but that will be avoided by both of them. Skyzen tries to go back towards, but King Kyle, with the presence of his item Rose Gold Meteor, he survives. He picks up a legendary. There is a stun coming in for Char, and he will be taken down double kill. The Sky Pierce is just working out, but Kimmy though, why did he jump in? Again with a legendary. Wait a minute, Loi though, will they be actually making some kind of a play? They're just waiting it out.
They have to. They absolutely have to right now at this point of the time. They were going for that play, but that was quick response coming in. Oh, Joseph wanted to go in for the solo kill. Could not get it. King Kyle doesn't have the energy for the bazooka either. So Skyzen still. How is this absolute beast of a boy? He's not even 18, by the way. He's still a high school boy, okay? And he's able to actually dominate against Tartarus. Young blood, young talent is insane. But overall, Lemoner, you better watch out.
Prodigy, definitely. But wait a minute, Taser, that was a very good set. But Charin jumps out of the back line, shut down. King Kyle tries to move in, but Skyzen as well. He's not stopping. He's just picking legendaries on legendaries. Double kill picked up by this Charin. Look at them. They are here to win up this game. 24 kills against 9. Last game it was a game where kills did not matter, but this game, the goal difference is really, really shining through.
Absolutely, because Carry is the marksman that really needs that gold. Unlike, the Claude and Granger, once they have a few core items, they can just dominate. Granger is more of stack. He's less gold reliant, more on stack. Claude is more on mid game. Once he has 2-3 items, he can immediately go into the black line, try to go for a flank. But Carry 100% gold reliant, and it's it's really happening for them. They have around 6,000 gold lead back again under 15 minutes mark, and Lord advantage 24 minutes in as well. And Skyzen is just really not getting taken down. I would appreciate he has the Rose Gold and the Wind of Nature both for the preventive measures, because he got to make sure. He needs to make sure that he doesn't get taken down, but the Lord comes in. Oh, look at the Louis.
Ada Charin jumps in, takes down Eden, thus makes a winter crown play so that he won't be taken down with the Sky Piercer of the Granger, but the Granger Lemonade shut down, Skyzen shut down the base though. The Lord is marking down the base, but they're not able to go in. Team Tartarus are really good at
Oh my God.
trying to take down the attention, but Charin will be shut down. That leaves Aizen all alone. There's a chase for him. Will he be able to get it on? And yep, they did get it on. This is no way Aizen will be surviving.
All 5 men wipe out. This is why Tartarus, they were hanging by a thread. Their base was 1 hit away from the Lord. And immediately, is this the end for Peak to plummet? A clean sweep by the hanging by a thread. 1 minion left. 1 minion left. The minion waves comes in. Who's spawning? Lemonaire. Can he defend it? Can he make the play? No, he cannot. No, he cannot do it. Oh my God. Tartarus wins the victory with just by a thread. How is this possible? How does this team do it? Even when you think they've lost, they win.
What just happened? Team Peak to Plummet had it on their hands.
Tartarus
No
just
way.
built different. Or
I
is it luck by
agree.
chance? I'm not really sure at this point. I am 100% not sure at this point. Is this luck? Is this strategy? Is this a secret ingredient that Tartarus has cooked up? Because they refuse to lose. They just absolutely refuse to lose. 2 bronze and they win the match. This is what you call an epic comeback in rank, you know? Because
They cemented the game. Game number 1, they will be going with a bang.
this is insane.
No,
I think we gotta
actually,
go back to our host, yeah.
But hello, Zero, welcome back. How are you feeling? Because I'm still in shock. I cannot process this.
No,
It is
I'm just
pretty insane, yeah.
it's just too insane. I don't know. Like I'm flabbergasted right now because until the last moment we thought it was Peak that was about to get the win, but like in the last in the last 20 in the last 15 seconds it was Tartarus that got it back. Like after a full wipeout, even the Lord was out of the way. They just pushed it through. I mean, oh come on, 13-06 carry and you get a shutdown, and that is the absolute moment that is needed for Team Tartarus to have that fight back. I mean, I was ready to talk about Peak, but
She got the whole script ready. She had the whole script ready. She threw it away in the dustbin. Like,
Yep.
pew.
It just went away.
It makes sense though. Last second. Yeah, absolute last second. Until the absolute last second, it was Pick to Plummet's game. This is why this game, like MOBA 5v5 is a game where you cannot take a breather for even a second. 1 second misstep, a second misstep, a full wipeout, it was just enough to push. They had all turrets, okay? They had all turrets in the mid lane. There was nothing pushed in, but still they got the win. It is absolutely baffling to me. Tartarus, they start off the Swiss stages with a bang, and it is absolute cinema over here. And I think it needs to get clipped. It needs to get clipped. There is no way you win a match by hanging on a thread. 1 slash from the Madara like this, the base was over. But it was not. It is insane.
Joseph hold it out. He's like, nah, I'm not going back without taking the base down with me. They made sure that the second minion will be saved as well as the Scannon minion. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This was amazing. Zero, how did you feel about it?
It was definitely a roller coaster at the end of the whole game, right? I mean, start from the early. I was observing the chip, the lower E combo, both it did out really well. But I think Peak, once again, they failed to go for a full rain check on Tartarus, because last moment I feel like they were trying to push that Madara onto their base. It was just kind of trying to be forced out, but the brute force did not work out, right? Tartarus, they were just there standing the whole ground solid, just defended the Lord away and just went for a full epic comeback moment. I mean, I don't know, it was kind of a luck mixed in as well. Luck's mixed in with a bit of skills and a bit of team coordination as well. Sometimes you have to have luck on your side, otherwise stuff like this
Yep.
happens a lot.
Yep, absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed. Yes, there were a few hiccups here and there, but it was due to the weather conditions. Don't worry, it won't happen. Obviously, it was due to the weather. We cannot control it. I can, though. It is my doing. Yeah, I take the blame. But yeah, jokes aside, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking a short break and all of the updates will be announced. But yeah, we're going to be going to a short break after the banger of a match. So stay tuned for more updates, because obviously we will let you know if the second match will happen or not. Obviously, flood and rain issues are there in the Northeast. So we will update you as soon as possible if the game 2 between Zohunt and IGN will happen. So stay tuned for that and make sure you follow Indian Gaming Corps on Instagram for any updates, and obviously the YouTube channel as well. So right now, we'll go take a break. Bye-bye.
ये तारा इनको बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे परफेक्ट। कर देने वाला है थोड़ा सा। फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट। दिक्कत देने वाला है थोड़ा सा। फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट। देने वाला है, थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट।
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Mythic Showdown powered by IGC Indian Gaming Corps. We are here for the Swiss stage and is the second match of the Swiss stage. Yes, guys, team. Two of the teams are totally, OP, we can say. They are the fired up teams of India. They are the best teams of India. One is topping the elite leaderboard and one is in the fourth or fifth position in the Mythic leaderboard. It's none other than Zohunt versus Team IGN, the OG IGN, gonna compete for a BO3 against the Zohunt at the Swiss stage. Let's see, we'll be having the fun because the Swiss stage is on right now. After the wildcard stage, we have four teams into the Swiss stage as well. So we'll be seeing their match lately. But right now, this second match after the Tartarus clean sweeping pick to plummet will be on. And the casting deck, it's your boy STZ for the host today, and the two fine casters of India. One is one of the OPest female hypecaster, Asuya, will be joining with me, and another one is my bro Solski will be here as well. The handsome Solski. Yes, guys, he's here. So Solski and Asuya will be entertaining you all for this match. Let's see. How are you, Asuya? How are you, Solski?
Well. Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Ash TC, my brother. And you know what? If I'm handsome, then what are you, man? Supposedly they say I'm bare minimum, and you are going to be the super handsome from my point of view. But by the way, thank you for that wonderful introduction. And as you said, this is the first day of the Swiss stage.
Yeah.
So in the previous match, we have seen the peak to plummet getting. I mean, unfortunately, the second match they just got wiped out and they received a clean sweep from the Tartars. But you know, this match is all about Zohunt versus IGN. As you said, both of these are pretty well-known team, and I think they are first and fourth in the Mythic leaderboards as well. So far, so forth. I would like to see how IGN has made a little bit, I would say, improvement in their game because from past couple of tournaments, their I would say history is not looking quite good. I mean, I like to say that. And for Zohunt, I mean, they are winning here and there. Let's just see if they are able to pull off something unique today against IGN.
Yes, and with this, Asuya, how do you feel? It's your first casting in the Swiss stage as well. So, what do you think? IGN gonna take on a clean sweep, or are we gonna see something Zohan's magic today? Because we all know that Zohan is right now in the zone.
Well, definitely, just like Soul even said that we have seen IGN not performing up to the full potential from the last few tournaments, and Zohan being performing pretty well. So I definitely think that today we might see some good clashes happening between the two of them. And since it
Also,
is a Swiss stage, so like let's see what happens.
Yep, and with this, we'll be moving towards the draft soon. Before that, what do you think? Are we gonna see respects? Some kind of thing I've been seeing from lately by respect is like he's not going for those assassin jungle he's known for. Fanny, Hayabusa, Suyu,
Joy.
Joy, even. He's kind of tilting towards the utility right now. Is it the fighter meta coming up soon? He's getting used to it, or what? Changing his just for
Mhm.
fun.
I mean, See, look at it. I think we have seen, Blazing Olympus Rarin going for assassin. He is a utility kind of a jungler. So I think we are seeing a change from respect as well. I think he is going towards, I would say, utility just because I think now fighters, so let's just say Lucas, he
Yeah.
is actually kind of, I would say, like he can compensate for being an assassin as well, I would say. So just for that, and you said the utility as well. Fredden also comes in utility. Fredden is just purely conditional hero if opponent has got some joy or other, I would say,
Yeah.
heavy burst damage
Mobility.
combo. They have too much mobility. Yes, as you said it. So that's why Fredden is very important. But and I would also like to mention that Zohunt is like one of the few teams that have defeated Tartarus for the first time. So
Yeah.
yeah, that will be interesting to see like how respects with the utility jungler is gonna perform in this. I would say in this stage, and also I would like to see how Zohan's jungler will he hover towards some. I think he is also hovers towards utility kind of jungler if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes, he's also a utility kind of jungler. That is why, I mean, he's also known for his Basha as well as Fedrin plays. But today, I mean, I think Lucas will be in the banning list because I don't think they're gonna give that Lucas to respect because kind of he's having fun with that Lucas right nowadays. He's not going for the Hayabusa, his OG pick. He's not going for the Suyu as well, but he is going for Lucas anytime, anywhere if it is open. But Asuya, lately, we have been seeing that Indian meta is also going for Basha Roam and Basha EXP. What do you think about it? I mean, just because of the mobility he's having, they are going for those Basha Roam. Even, I mean, other countries are also tilting towards that thing. I mean, lately we are seeing it because previously, if you want to see, Basha will be always opt in the jungle section. What do you feel about it?
Well, of course, that's something which you mentioned, like Baksha being really popular all of a sudden. And it's not only because he has a pretty good farming speed, his damage in the early is pretty good, according to me. At the same time, since like this meta goes towards something, if you're able to take the game towards the late game, the marksman, the entire game is highly dependent on with the marksman. And so you really need some space. You need to give the marksman some time so that he can perform well. He has the freedom of movement. So giving some tanky jungler like Baksha, which also has a pretty good anti-heal effect on his ultimate, works out for the marksman. He has an extra additional layer of protection. And of course, with that, if you pair him up with the healers, since we are already seeing that even the healers are getting quite popular, and since healers aren't enough for that tankiness, so yeah, Baksha, Fredrin, all of these utility or fighter junglers are being really popular.
Okay, with this, the draft is on for IGN versus Zohan Swiss Day's second match, and is the first day as well at the Mythic Showdown powered by IGC Indian Gaming Cups. And with this, casters, please take on the draft. I'll be waiting in the deck right now.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that, Ashley, for wonderful, I would say, host, to be precise. And coming back to the drafting phase, Aijin got the first pick, Zohan got the second pick, straight away going for, as Asuya mentioned, they like to go with healers along with utility junglers. So that's where Mathilda is banned, Badang is banned. And from the Zohan side, if I'm not wrong, that's Chip, right? If that's not Chip, then what it is, I kind of not recognize that hero. But
It
let's just
is
see what's. Yeah,
it
it
is
is Chip,
Chip.
right? Yeah,
It
Chip is
feels
looking
like
like
some tarantula staring at me. So
yeah, he's looking like some diabolical hero, man. Like in a good way. Like diabolical is like a very good word, and I'm in love with that word. Also, we have seen Gadot Kasa getting banned. Pretty much good choice of bans, to be honest. But yeah, remember the Hayabusa is open, Suyu is open, Joy is open. Will they go for jungling? And in mages, there are Farsa. I think mages in this meta are not getting first pick. Galea, I would say utilities in terms of EXP is very important, and EXP plays a very huge role in the first team fight. If you have got a good EXP, you will get a very good engage in the first turtle fight. So maybe
well,
we can say that maybe see, look at that, there is a EXP ban. Now Asuya, what do you have to say?
Well, I would definitely agree to what you said that the EXP laner is pretty crucial right from the first hurdle because fighters do have the capability right from level 4 that they can provide a lot of stuns or maybe a lot of zoning, and the damage is also pretty good. And at the same time, mages, although like, there are so many options for the mages, but at the same time, it highly depends. Same goes for the jungler, it depends. If you want to go in for an assassin, or if you go in for the utility tanky jungler right there. Because if you have a mage like Sicilian or Farsa, just like you mentioned, or a marksman
No.
like Ranger who uses that long range, think assassins would be pretty good for the option to pick up. But right now we are seeing, I just look at the Kalia not being banned out. I think that might be a mistake. What do you think, so?
I mean, Kalia, I think all the way from Chota Bheem universe. I'm just kidding. So Kalia, I mean, that Kalia also loves to pick up people, and this Kalia also loves to pick up people and smashes them like a freaking paper or something that you would like to smash. And I'm not talking about that thing that you want to smash. I'm talking about the real thing that you want to smash, guys. So don't take it anywhere. But as our STG mentioned, there is Bakshia, and along with Bakshia, there is Lucas as well. But remember, Carry is open, and if they get their hands on Carry, and shout out to Aaron, the creator, my boy. I mean, he's such a good human being that I have met in some tournament. I mean, he was in my team, by the way, guys. I was a manager of the team, so yeah. I think Aaron, personally, I know him, and I'm not being biased. He's one of the good marksman players. Also, I love the fact that they don't opt for carry. Instead, have gone for Harith. Harith, in my opinion, is just like, if not better, is, I would say, gonna give dividend as much as like carry. But carry, there was so much tankiness. I think carry could have been a very good option. But yep, to answer that, there is win will be getting this time for Prime the Moscow. Pretty much good answer coming from both the sides, but Baksha is there. So to cut down the heel from the Tsunami Slam monster, I think it's a daughter, right, of the Kadita and Badang, right? The Kalia, or whatever you want to call her. So yeah, we in the second banning phase. What do you have to say, Asuya?
Well, the band's pretty well. Slowly being banned out. And okay, that's Hilda, right? She looks really scary if she is Hilda. But so Louis is a good option. But then again, I think um uh, more of a mobile mage could work out here since they have a Joy, they have a Kalia, and they have a lot of mobility into them. And any picking up mages like Sicilian or Farsa, which are really popular right now, would be not good for Zohunt. Or since they even have a Baksha right now, they might even go in for a mid lane utility, might go in for a mid lane Lauren or mid lane Angela. What do you think?
Medlin Angela. All right. All right. Let me get some water right now. Okay, so midline Angela, as Asuya said, I'm just kidding. I'm not getting any water. But yep, mid lane Angela might work, might not work. I think I'm speaking on behalf of. I mean, no, I'm not speaking on behalf of anyone. I think I'm gonna get hate for whatever I was about to say. I will not say it, but yeah, the Valentina is banned. By the way, guys, I also play support heroes like Florina and Angela, and my pookiness comes out from those heroes. So you gotta let
Uh,
your pookiness comes out from your, you know, can express from any hero. Somebody's spookiness comes out from Balmond, so I can't blame them. But my spookiness comes out from that Florina and Angela. But
do
remember,
mention you use Sky Piercer on Angela.
you don't need to mention that. Okay, guys. So sometimes, the pookiness is there, but there's macho man inside that Angela. That my Angela is like Bobby Bobby Boom. Just kidding. Okay, so there is
Puppy, puppy, boom.
yeah, whatever. So yeah, my bad. So yeah, there is Faramis ban. Pretty much, they don't want to give up the Faramis. Okay. Oh my God, glue is open. Faramis is banned, and might go for glue if they have gotten the attention that they can go for the glue this time. If there is okay, okay, they gone for this Kimi, which is actually a good hero against glue with a passive because of the splash damage that she gives. But Aran the creator and Zozin. Okay, if they haven't picked the EXP, right? So they have the opportunity to pick the EXP if the Kalea wants to go roam. So they might go for the glue this time. But they are going for the glue. Did Sohan didn't sense that they could have gone for glue, or they have gone for Kimi because they wanted to pick Kimi and Aaron? Okay, I would love to see how Witch is gonna play Selena. I'm all for it. Zozin is gonna get. I think Zozin is gonna play Akalia, and okay, we know that whatever. Okay, Zozin is gonna play this hero Kalia, and Mirio is gonna play glue. So okay, Debbie has already said that somebody is gonna spam glue in the chat. So shout out to Debbie, and she actually, you know, predicted it right. And there is the Franco to answer this glue and the Selena pick. I think Franco as Roma actually gives you the high ground onto that Selena because Selena might not come in front of the Franco who has a bloody hand and a hook. So it's going to be on par to par in terms of draft, I guess.
Well, I think that Franco is an option or maybe a response to the Joy because they really need something to lock her down because she has a lot of burst, especially towards the late game. But then, will it actually work out? Because even when you're trying to use that bloody hand, there is the Kalia. She can just slam you away. She loves slamming people. And Kimmy, in response for the Harith as well as the Joy, works because she has a lot of power right from after the revamp and she has the mobility to move away. But then again, how will they even work it out? Because right now I feel like both the teams have really, scattered kind of comms. So
I mean, as you said, that family problem, he is gonna be having hard time with his hooking. But remember, I think family problem, it's one of his classic Franco pick, if I'm not wrong. And look at in the mid lane side, he doesn't have the passive that he's looking for. Maybe trying to go for something. Did anybody has brought flame shot? Oh man, that would have been first blood right there. All right, so just a chill guy has gone for this Bakshia. I think we all know who this guy is. And Glue against that Bakshia. I think Glue is gonna have hard time in the starting, but we can see in the mid lane there is slight skirmish. Win is quite too low. We'll have to fall back for now. Meanwhile, we can see in the top lane, they're just getting... I think if they wait for the first turtle and this Zozen hits the 4 level mark, I think there is a free pick off of the Franco, because Franco is easily getting picked off in the early team fights because he is quite too weak and not that too much of a tanky. He's also like a pick off hero because he needs to hook. If he gets a hook on someone, because Aaron has only the one is brought the Purify. So he can hook either Zozen, I can Scooby-Doo also. That's basically the respect. And anybody else, but you can see the witch is quite too low. There's a trying to do for the iron hook right there, but will fail for now. So far, so forth. Both the teams are waiting for the right opportunity to engage. This first turtle fight will give us the answer of that, who is getting first blood right now.
I mean, definitely. The stuns connecting up right there. The flicker being used up so early by family problems. Manages to land that hook. 3 versus 1. Will it be the first blood? And Sakura trying to go away, trying to heal up using that extra chakra that she has. But look at that Uno reverse right there when taking down the person. But Serena will be taking it as a trade-off. And with that, 2 people down from the side of Team Zohunt. Will it be a free turtle for the side of Team IGN right now? Because just look at them, they have the freedom. Marsha as well as Franco trying to provide some vision, but did not have. Luke is being taken down in a very, very tight situation. Meanwhile, Baksha being stunned. 3 people right onto him. Tries to escape the revitalize, giving him barely some HP back, but Lou will not be letting him go away. Meanwhile, in the top lane, the hook actually connected Prime with really low HP. Okay, just 1 solo HP right there. The rest of the members are there for the kill. Okay, that might be a bait. The heal is right up there. Family problem with the bloody hand. Prime with the SOT, and Aaron will be taken down. That was a pretty good trade-off.
Yeah, that was a pretty good trade-off. And I would say a slight little lack of discipline from the side of Aaron right there. I think he knew that Franco is gonna hit level 4 just in a couple of seconds, but he still was in the top lane. Meanwhile, he even saw the Kimi's when we can see the Tsunami Slam at the top lane, but there will be the use of Purify. I think that will be a very fair trade of resources, in my opinion, because I think that Purify cooldown is, I think, double, or yeah, I think it's double the cooldown of the Tsunami Slam. So yeah, I think it's an advantage. Next time she will having Tsunami Slam and she knows the time limit, I think she can pull it off, 1 Tsunami Slam and get pick up on that more scope. But I would like to see some itemization right now, because there's the first turtle has already been up. So far, so forth. There is a baby sitting in the top lane from the side from the family problem right there. There will be Zozen and might go for... Okay, she doesn't have the Tsunami Slam until now also. So far, so forth. We can see in the bottom lane side, there will be the kill of that Glue. And there was Turtwise. Pussinance also has been used by that Bakshia. Meanwhile, Slam Pass didn't work on that Bakshia as well as the Lucas combination. So far, so forth. Both the teams are looking pretty fine. Meanwhile, you can see in the top lane, there is a Tsunami Slam. This is what I was talking about. Prime getting picked up for the second time because he didn't have the Purify that I just talked about earlier. And he is getting, I would say, he just paid the price for using that Purify too early.
Well, that was quite unfortunate because I was just going to say that, the Moscow was doing pretty good job baiting people around. He baited Aaron, baited the Chosen right there, but then again, I think Chill Guy is not in a chill situation right there. Tries to buy out some time. The zoning is there, but of course IGN will be grabbing on to that turtle. The Sakura trying to just slam people. Chosen trying to look for some engages in the top lane. Both marksmen are doing pretty well right now. Both of them do have their battle spells. So maybe ganking up the Harith or ganking up Prime could be the best options because they will be scaling pretty hard in the late game. At the same time, we do see
Mm,
like Witch on the Selena, she has a lot of early game potential, and yet IGN playing it safe, they are trading it. They're not going in for the confrontations above. At the same time, I think Aaron finally knows that Prime is trying to bait him out because he's doing such an amazing job in that, so he won't be overextending at this time.
yep, exactly. And this is how it should be in life as well, guys. Learn from your mistakes, like Aaron is learning from right now. But that was a slight mishook from that family
Oh,
problem. Prime does have the purifier this time, but that Gregor Sama will join the team fight as well. Okay, that's a Gregor Samsa. I get my bad, my bad. That's a Samsa boy. Meanwhile, you can see the Bakshi is in the middle lane, didn't join the team fight as well, but we can see there was a slight try to stun that just a chill guy to make him angry a little bit, but he's just a chill guy, guys, so he doesn't get angry too quickly. So far, they can see both the teams are playing quite disciplined this time. The goal difference is not that much. I think if we talk in terms of disciplined gameplay, both the teams are doing good. And if we talk about the late game potential and the mid game potential of the draft, the power spiking, I think it is hovering towards uh, Harith also, I would say, if he gets his 2 item Stallium size plus the Feather of Heaven, I think he is ready to join the team. But meanwhile, Prime just need at least Trinity of his own because
oh,
if he goes for Trinity, meanwhile you can see in the mid lane there is a that was a SOD if I'm not wrong, right? And that's how they took out
it
that.
was,
That was Bloody Hunter as well from the family problem, right?
yep, yep.
Yep. So
That was a
that's how
pretty
you.
good engage right there. I was just watching over there. But the next turtle of the game, Solski, and there might be another engage right there. Kalia looking for that, slam onto Dusty Mizo, and that will not be a good exchange right there. Prime meanwhile taking down that tower, and with that Aaron grabbing onto that last hit, the tsunami slam coming in, the Zaman force, and with that look at Dusty Mizo right behind, trying to flee away, gets stunned, uses the beam, still moves, manages to move away. Chill guy trying to buy as much time as possible for Dusty to go away, and look at the blue providing so much damage right there, and Win will be taken down as the chain CC does the wondrous job right there. Just a chill guy, not in a chill situation, will be next on the chopping block as he will also be taken down. A pretty good exchange right there. The turtle taken up by Aaron. IGN with the lead right now. Will be managing to grab onto the first turret from the mid lane too. Meanwhile, just look near the buff. Dusty in a tight situation. Uses up that retribution. Grabs onto the blue, but it is not enough because the macro advantage is in the hands of IGN right now. They do have a 2000 gold lead. So how is someone supposed to reply back to them because they're not looking in a good situation right now?
Exactly, and I would say that was a little desperation in the turtle fight. I mean, you just picked up that joy. You didn't have the resources that you need. So, also, okay, never mind. We can see the Prime going for that engage. I think that was a slight rookie mistake, and there will be the ultimate from that win, and might go for some engages right there. Meanwhile, we can see that's that's a gem that has been bought by Scooby Doo. That's a holy gem that will give you the maximum magic power that they need. Meanwhile, you can I would like to see some. Okay, there's a roam bot by the win in just 8 minutes into the game. Okay, that's just a chill guy. Might be in slight discomfort position right now. We'll be getting fast slam from the glue, getting the ultimate also. Meanwhile, we can see there was a perfect stun and killing spree for that Selena. Meanwhile, this glue is on to that Tartarus Persistence guy. That's a Bakshia and will get taken down from that Selena as well. This Selena is providing a heck lot of dividends. We have also seen in the previous turtle fight how that one stun took out one guy of that Zohunt in the turtle fight. That's how when the tables has turned toward the side of team Zohunt from the IGN side.
Well, definitely, Selena. She excels in that because she can lock down one person, one crucial person from the 20 team fights. At the same time, we do see all the engages which are happening. Vaksha is trying to be in the front. Franco is, looking for that one exchange right there. But meanwhile, Chill Guy, this is what I was talking about. He's always all alone. He has no backup. And I think that's one of the reasons why he ends up feeding right there. But look at that. A double kill might be onto their hands. The minion getting hooked. Not a good hook. Dusty Mizo trying to buy out some time. The stun not connecting. Okay. Did you look at that shot from the ultimate? A double kill for Dusty Mizo right there. Now this is a farmed up Lucas. Might even manage to get up that triple. And yes, I think it is definitely there onto his hands. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, you do not underestimate a Lucas. He is a firepower. Like the way he suddenly just pops up into the power right there, but meanwhile, when getting up that holy crystal, so damage might be double chosen in a very, very tight situation, will be taken down between four members right there. The stun from the Moscow connecting Prime, doing an amazing job. And Gregor will be taken down. And just look at Zohunt. They were on the losing end right now, and all of a sudden it is a Uno reverse. Two turrets down, the holy shield down, IGN in a defending position. They need to stay back. They need to wait for Harrod to farm up right now.
Naruto, Dattayo Sasuke. That was a perfect description of that Naruto gameplay from the Dusty Mizo, perfectly executed. And we also have a little snipe, a fact. Did you know Fanny doesn't walk, she flies okay cables to the walls and managing energy. She guides across. Okay, you got that by the way, guys, and that's a very very good fact that you should learn about Mobile Legends. Mobile Legends basically. Also, coming back to the team fight, oh man, that bloody hunt onto the glue, perfect. I would say perfect in terms of decision making by family problem, and the follow was on point. Just a chef kiss of that triple kill. That the Naruto just played absolutely freakingly well in that time. And as you said, you shouldn't, I would say, underestimate that Lucas. But Lucas was trying to aim his ultimate onto that Harith. Harith just move away, and it hit the unfortunate to the cylinder to the witch. And now that I was talking about the mid game spike, because we are already into the 11 minutes of the game. After 15 minutes, it's going to the late game. So Prime, and I would like to see some itemization as well, because Prime, if he gets a free hitting zone, I think he's gonna hurt like hell, because Selena now will be have to very careful about her abyssal arrow plus engage. Meanwhile, you can see the family problem getting the tsunami slam is quite too low. There is a joyful beats from that Joy, and there's just a chill guy getting caught out by that glue. But remember, they're not killing the glue right now, but there is again a slam from that Kalea, and there was a primal. Okay, that was a Stallion beam from that Vayne. A monster kill from the Lucas onto the mid lane side, or the bottom lane, from the mid lane side, and we can see there's a Zaman Force, but the stun was too insane for that Aaron the creator. But meanwhile, we can see there was Fry, but that was the Purify more than Moscow, and Lucas will come and finish the day for. Okay, never mind. Kimi will get the kill of that Kalea, and that's how my guys. They're 3-for-1 trade. That's not a good trade, I would say, for the side of Team IGN, but a good trade from the side of Zohunt, I guess.
Well, definitely. And one thing which I really want to talk about here is the synergy between the four tanks. Like, if you see Baksha taking up all the damage in front, and Franco aiming for the squishies, aiming for the priorities right there, waiting in time. So yes, this combo fits in pretty well. Same goes for the Kalia as well as our glue combo, because glue is right there, buying time, buying the zone, and right when his ultimate ends, there is the tsunami slam coming in. There is the stuns, the knockups coming in from the Kalia. So both of them are doing an amazing job. But at the end of the day, it matters that Kimmy, will she be able, like, are they able to take her down? And the way she can dodge away, the way the zoning is there, even from the Moscow, the way he pushes people back, stuns them together with his second skill, they're IGN is just not able to go to the Kimi. They're not able to take down the Markson, which is the Moscow, and that's the priority which they should be looking to right now. Same goes with the Selena. She's there to stand down, win, take down the Moscow, but there is so much zoning coming in from that farmed up Lucas, from the Baksha, as well as that fear of bloody hunt that Joy cannot just dive in as easily, as freely as she wants. So that is one thing which is causing them trouble right now, not being able to lock down on the priorities.
Exactly, and so the wave clear is lacking a lot from the side of Team IGN. They have only the Harry that can do the wave clear. Meanwhile, you can see Serena trying to get some hit onto the Abyssal Arrow, but meanwhile, we can see there's an engage from the side of Team Zohan, taking down one or two members, and that might be the third one. No, Prime misses out onto that glue, but remember, there's Naruto that will take care of the Joy, and by this, that last push was that all you need to defeat this IGN for the game number 1. And this victory goes to Team Zohan. Wonderfully played. And I would say a slight, that Lucas triple kill paved the way for the momentum for the side of Team Zohan, so that they could have gotten this win. And they absolutely gotten this win from I would say their team played really well. As you said, the Justice Hill guy was taking a lot of damage, but that triple kill paved the way for Zohunt to win. But remember, guys, we are back. And now I would like to see some. Okay, never mind. I think Ashtray will join us real soon. So, Asuya, what do you think about this game? Okay, Ashtray is back with us. Brother, what do you have to say about this game? Never mind. I think he will be back real soon, guys. Asuya, until then, I gotta ask you,
No, I'm
what do
here.
you
I'm
think?
here.
Wait,
Alrighty.
I have one thing to say though. Naruto just rejecting Kalia Sakura, and he's telling him that Hinata is better for him.
I mean, we all know that, I guess.
Oh my.
What if like if Sasuke would have been there, he would have been used his Rinnegan to pierce the heart of Sakura. Okay, joke aside,
Why
what a
everyone hates
game, what
Sakura?
a match it was. Literally, it was. Totally awestruck for me because at first moment I thought that during the turtle fight, I thought that IGN is having a way in this match. They're gonna win this match, but then in the end, we all saw that the Kimmy getting hyped up and the Lucas. Literally, what a game by Dusty Mizo. He literally managed to take on the whole match into his hand, and in the end, the first set goes to Zohan. A bait set for IGN, we can say, but I mean, IGN coming again with the jungler, assassin, respect, and doing great. But I mean, something happened. Solski, what do you felt? Like, what happened to IGN? They were in a good track.
I mean, see, where they lacked is like not that because they were engaging in a very, I would say, bad form, and their engages were on point. Zozen getting perfect stuns plus the tsunami slam was on point, but they underestimated, I think, the Lucas a lot because they were fighting in the area of Zohunt, like onto the red buff area of the Zohunt, and that's the
Yeah,
where I think they could have retreated in time because Harry didn't have that mana, and I think he fails to realize that he didn't have that mana to fall back with the Chrono Dash as well. So he just barely makes it out, but until he got again caught by that Lucas with his second and the first kill. So far, so forth, I would say a little overextension caused in the game. Plus, I would say the mid to late game spike was a lot from the side of Team IGN. So that's the reason, one more reason that Team Zohan got way, I would say, comfortable in the late because you have the Kimi, which can
yeah,
give, I would say, continuous damage. Like even if you buy Radiant plus Athena, you will still getting a ton hex of damage of that Kimi because she has bought some Divine Glyph plus the Wishing Lantern. You're gonna get a hit by a lot of magical penetration as well. Plus, it was Prime. Nobody was there to lock onto the Prime. Not that burst mage because Selena is there, but she's an assassin. You need a little high ground for Selena, but she's not getting that high
yeah.
ground because of the Franco was there onto her head basically. So I think that was a little. I would say they forgot that they don't have a late game draft except the Harith.
Yep, and they should have gone with the Valentina at that moment for that Lucas because the Lucas was the problem. I told you from beginning that if any of the team will be leaving that Lucas or trading that Lucas to any, I mean, Dusty Mizo or Respect, they will be facing the problem because we all know that the Lucas is right now a menace creature in the Land of Dawns, and he's doing his everything, every sort of things to win the match and the damage and the sustain as well. Both the things are there with the Lucas. So it can be countered with the Franco as well as the Valentina, but right now, heading into the second match, is the second set. A match point for the Zohan side and a do or die for the IGN. They need to win this match if they wants to take on the first game of the Swiss stage. They wants to take on to the third set of this BO3 series. They need to win this match. They had to prove themselves. They need to, I mean, go for a good draft which can help them to win the match, as well as those overextensions mentioned by Solski done at the red buff. They should aware of it. They should rectify their mistake. I know they are the one of the top team of India. They will be rectifying it as soon as possible in the second set. Asuya, before going to the draft, I'll ask you the last question. What do you think? Will it be a clean sweep, or are we gonna see a reverse sweep this night?
Well, we might see, a reverse sweep because at this time Aijin is on the second pick right there. So if you give up one good hero in exchange, you can just plan it out and take two good heroes. So, like people always saying that getting the first pick is a good option. Yeah, it is, but at the same time, you're getting two good heroes in exchange. So, all depends on the draft. It all depends on how they're planning on the first picks from both the sides.
Okay, with this, casters, please take on the draft phase.
Sasuya, are you there?
Yeah,
How are you? I mean,
I'm
how are you? Means basically,
alive.
yeah. I mean, that's how we are basically.
We are all Sia. We are all alive.
For now, I'm just alive, guys. I'm not happy to be honest. So we will take, we will take this podcast to some other time, but because this is going to be the second match between Zohan versus IGN of this Mythic Showdown series, and that's a switch stage, and it's a day one, guys. So far, so for Zohan has a match pointer in this game, so this is going to be, I would say, in favor of momentum wise, it's in favor of Zohan. But remember, revenge is a dish that's best served cold. So IGN is hungry for revenge, and we all know that revenge just gives you one hell of a drive in your life. So make that drive very useful, and we might say that IGN is having a lot of that drive in themselves right now because they just lost first game to Zohunt. I think now I think they might rectify their mistake, as Ashley said. I would say they were playing so disciplinedly well in the starting. I don't know. I mean, they both basically both the teams have that pick off composition, like Franco and the Kalea. I would have just said that Kalea could have just gotten any one of. I would just get the family problem right there because they were marking Prime, but Prime was having the purifier, so that's a tsunami slam wasted. I think they could have used it on some Franco, maybe some other. I would say just on Kimi as well. So I mean, that's a light. I think that was a slight, I would say, decision-making problem. But the family problem played really well. So let's just see how they are gonna play in this game because IGN will be getting the second pick, as you said, Asuya. They also have the advantage in the second pick. Plus, the first pick is of Zohunt. So, what do you think about it will be?
Well, I think right now IGN might be debating whether to ban out the Lucas or whether to ban out the Baksha or whether to ban out the Kalia. And yes, it is Kalia which will be given away. She's a pretty good hero. Like in the previous game, we did see she was giving out a lot of heals, but unfortunately, just like I mentioned before, the Franco was the key pick from the side of Team Zohan right there because you need to take out the, I would say, I forgot her name, Kimmy. Yeah, you need to take down the Kimmy. But then there was always the fear of Franco, so Joy couldn't dive behind. Same goes for our marksmen. They couldn't take down the squishies right there. That was a
Yeah,
pretty hard thing to do because especially ever since she got that holy crystal along with that sky piercer, she was just melting the Kalia down. She was melting the front lines. So right now, once again, Zohan grabbing onto the Bakshad, Asti Miso on the fighter junglers, on the tanky junglers. He performs exceptionally well. Because we all know there are a lot of fans of Asti Miso, and we know how good he is on such heroes. Now, the question is IGN, will they respond with a Lucas and a Florin? Might work out, or will they be going in for some counters right there? Because a lot of things are open right now.
well, exactly. And hmm, like if I was in the shoes of IGN, they've got this hero Bakshia. I think it's fine. Okay, they are okay. That's a very good pick. They're also opting for this, Phoebus, so that they don't go for Harit or maybe Moscow in the gold lane. They might have to, sort out to some other options. Plus, but they also have shown their EXP card because this hero Bakshia is actually, I would say, a flex pick. We just saw how it was useful in the EXP. It can be useful in the roam as well, and it can be useful in the jungle as well. And they have shown their two cards. That's the basically the EXP and the Lucas. Lucas could have gone for the EXP, but now he can't because there is Phoebus, which will be in the EXP line. So I mean, they have their pros and cons in their first two picks from the other side of IGN, but we have to see how they're gonna. Okay, Kimi, why didn't they pick Kimi? I think they might opt for maybe carry this time, or maybe not, because previous game they were tries to fail the melt, failed to melt the front line too. I would say because Harry didn't have that tons of firepower in his hand. But now the Kimi plus the Fredrin combination. Now also they have also shown that Bakshia is not going to go to jungle because this haughty boy Fredrin will be in the jungle. So what do you think, Aijin? Well, how will they counteract this? Okay, that's a good pick.
Well, there are a lot of options, and just like you said, that since Fredrin hasn't picked up, so he might go for the jungler, but you never know. He can be played in the EXP, you never know. what surprises Zohan has for us. And right now, Kimi and Baksha, that comp once again taken up by Zohan, and IGN need to pick up something which can reach the Kimi, which can zone her away or at least take her down, not allow her into those team fights. And since like there are two hunky chinky or tanky picks on the side of Team Zohan, so already IGN knows that it will be hard to reach Kimi since the zoning is pretty good. But then I think the Louis pick solves a lot of things here because the diversions will be there, a lot of macro control onto the hands, and like she is a firepower and artillery right from the early game. So if we manage to shut down Kimi right from the early, not allowing her to farm, and I think Louis is pretty good at that because there is Dusty Mizo as well as our Fredrin. So she can just, use up that passive from her first kill, and there will be a lot of people who will be taken up in that passive of the yin yang combo.
Hmm. As we can see, there is the 1-1 ban and the Moscow ban, and there is okay. Harat plus Granger is open. I mean, Aaron on Granger is just a different breed, into if you ask me. I'm not just glazing him because Prime actually played very well in the gold lane. I think previous game, I think Prime just went head on to that against Aaron. But remember, the Prime, I mean, the Kimi can be a flex pick as well. So that's the benefit of the flex pick. Kimi can be the gold lane and the mid lane. So you get your opponents thinking that what will Kimi go, which lane will Kimi go. And now for the side of Team IGN, they have a roaming left. Roamer wise, they might go for okay. There's the Granger, and I just called it out because I know that he's gonna go for the Granger. It's just like his comfy pick. I'm not just comfy because Granger is one hell of a good marksman, and he has the potential to melt the front lining only if he gets his hands on that Skybeard stacks, along with I would say slight early game advantage. In economics, we say a first mover advantage, just like that. So now Zohan does the last two pick. They're left with a mage, might go for Farsa. If their prime is going mid lane, they might go for a marksman, might go for Irithel because 1-1 they had banned the 1-1, or might go for maybe a Clint or maybe a Harith. There are so many possibilities. Meanwhile, we can see they also have a roamer or an EXP left. So what do you think, Asuya? What will be here?
I'll might go in for some healer. Lauren is in ban right now, so she could be pretty good roamer for Zoant. If or
Mm.
maybe a mid laner, just like I mentioned before, but no, it will be a Guinevere. So now my question is she the XP? Is
Roma.
she the
Okay, it's
tangle?
Guinevere room.
Is she the
It's
roam?
Guinevere. Yeah,
And
she is the
I
roam.
think Zohan really loves that maybe what's that knock-up kind of comps because they had Kalia in the previous match.
Yeah,
No,
Zohan.
wait, it was IGN with the
Yeah, it
knockup.
was
Never
I.
mind. Yeah, I think they have a lot of CCs right now. And once again, Zohan has done the same thing in the previous game. They had the Franco who was not allowing that diamonds, who was creating a zone where the assassin kind of junglers,
Oh,
they were pretty scared to go in, dive in, take down the Kimi. And same goes right now. Once again, if IGN tries to take down the Kimi prime right now, which will be a very crucial point because she will definitely be the bone of contention, but then there will be the Guinevere who will always be ready to CC you away to safeguard prime. So if you see in both the team forms, Zohan is literally playing around the Kimi right now, just allowing her the free space, the free time to farm up, and the space to deal damage.
yep, exactly. But I would like to see that, both the drafts this time are actually good. But, it just comes down to execution of the draft because there is Zozen, which can gives a very good set, can possibly decide the game. But there is a family problem, as you said. And I think previous game it was a Franco that, made a barrier between the frontliner and the backliner for the IGN. And this time it's going, he's going to do the same work for that, with that Guinevere. Because if he does use his spatial migration onto that Lucas before he even transform, I think it's game over for Lucas. So they have just got to watch it out. And even with that family problem, they might have to go for purify both of them, the backliners of the side of Team IGN, and that's a little bit, I would say, um, disadvantage because they don't have the flicker because flicker is very important. But look at that there. Yes, they are going for the Purify this time. Meanwhile, Prime has a Flicker. So it just gives you a slight, I would say, repositioning advantage when you have the Flicker. Purify actually gives you, I would say, you know, a debuff from every CC. But remember, like previous match, team Zohunt baited out Purify very goodly. Very good, I mean. So, that might be an issue for IGN to deal this time. If they manages to, save their Purify for the nick of time, they will be able to pull out a very good game. Meanwhile, we can see a Gregor, Gregor, not Sama, but Gregor Sams again. Meanwhile, they are going, letting the Prime take that gold crab buff, and that's a very good micro play from the Zohunt right there. This match,
Well,
I think. Yep, Asuya. I was about to ask you something, but yep, go ahead.
well, definitely, and just like I said before, Louis early game power is pretty good. The artillery she has with her is good, and if you did see in the last game how Kimmy was melting down the Kalia, so right now Louis is someone with that passive. The way her first skill just goes into that fan-shaped direction gives her a lot of range, and she can use up that first skill, aim it from pretty far away, and yet the enemy might get that damage. Right now, that's how she is just halting the Kimi, both of them in a pretty even competition in the mid lane. So at least that solves it for both the sides right now. Chosen looking for some exchanges right there. And the first turtle up around 6
Oh,
seconds. Okay, the being young combo coming in. Kuniver uses up that second skill. Pretty free for now. Dusty Mizo already level 4, the first turtle of the game up. Now, let's see what happens because just look at IGN might go in for the first exchange. Okay, I do not see Zohan competing for it. They might come in, but Chosen clearing that wall, trying to create up that zone coming in. Second skill coming in from Kimi and Dusty Mizo winning out that retribution battle. Meanwhile, in the top lane, pretty low HP onto that Lucas. Manages to move away, but it will be the Phobius who will be just diving in too deep. Flicker being used up by Chosen. Two important, just two important spells just used up right there. Even the retribution, though, I think Lucas didn't win out on that. It was a pretty good retry coming in from the side of Team Zohan.
yep, and that was a very good action pulse from that Kimi that just turned away that Lucas, and I think Lucas could have just transformed a little bit early. I think he just made a slight, I would say. Okay, there is the spatial. Oh, that's a very good traction beam right there, and that was a try to do spatial migration, but that was a tries to this is what I was talking about. They are very good to bait out the purified team Zohan right now. Meanwhile, we can see just chill guy trying to get not letting this Phobius get his minions. I would like to see some itemization after the first turtle fight, because this first turtle fight is very crucial and the EXPs are very important. But meanwhile, we can see they are going for. I think Kimmy is going for first anti-heal item. That's a glorious. Yep, not the glorious, but the glowing one. Meanwhile, okay, there's a witch with a divers in the bottom lane side. Might go for some kills. Where is the spicy migration onto the Zozin? Meanwhile, Flicker out there with the retribution. They were trying to go in tower drive, and there will be the demonic force from that Gregor Samsa. Misses out with the traction beam. Okay, the traction beam was misses out. Meanwhile, you can see the back line. There was a kill onto that witch as well as this Gregor Samsa. Meanwhile, Lucas will fall back for now, and that's again. Momentum is going towards the side of Team Zohunt.
Well, yes, and that's the issue with the Phobius right there because once you start engaging, you're already too deep into the enemy lines. They can bait you pretty well and they can separate you and take you down, and that's what is happening. So I was really hoping that this Phobius might go in with a flicker. But right now, I think it will be in a pretty bad situation. Phobius trying to dish out some damage, but look at the damage coming in from the yin can combos right there. Phobius still jumping up. Baksha will be taken down. Family problems next on the chopping block. Meanwhile, a free pass for Dusty Mizo in the way both the turtles are just going uncompeted for them because so much CC, so much zoning in coming from the rest of the team. It is a phenomenal teamwork coming in from the side of Team Zohan right now. IGN needs to pull up less on that gold. 2k gold lead. Also, 2 kills more in the hands of Zohan.
I mean, Killsword it's fine, but I think Witch is having a lot of trouble. He needs his roamer to try to get him, give him vision of that Guneva, because he will be able to get his mid lane. That's how. And got his first item now. That's going to be the anti heal. And okay, Aaron got his second item, I think. And Aaron, if he just waiting for the right opportunity, if he was Malefic gun. Meanwhile, we can see there is engage from the box here. Just a kill guy will be okay. There's a backline. That was a very good implosion from the Tigreal. Meanwhile, we can see that Naruto is using his form. Ninetales is there. Purify will be used by that.
Oh.
Okay, that will be the double kill for this Lucas. And Lucas is not done because he's hungry for more. We can see that. Okay, that Aaron the creator misses out with the dash. Meanwhile, Lucas is quite too low. Will be getting the spatial migration on two from the hands of that family problem and will fall down now. Meanwhile, you can see just the chill guy is just too low. Meanwhile, this Aaron is giving a lot of damage, misses out with the second ability, Gregor Samsa, and will have to fall back for now. But this trade has been, I think, a very good trade from both the side, and IGN is slowly closing in to the Zohunt right now.
Definitely, and that's what you need from the Tigreal. Go behind the scenes and take down the squishies, take down the Kimi right there. That was a pretty good exchange at the same time. Just like you mentioned, the Louis is very crucial, especially in the early game team fights, because she can provide a lot of disorientation, provide a lot of damage. But then the Guinevere is being the bone of contention for her, so which really needs some good positioning or maybe needs some vision or help from the teammates. But then at the same time, even if you're just marking down which, Kimmy is open, and even the Beatrix open, but in the bot lane, I do see Granger being 1 versus 2 family problem, being definitely a problem for the entire teams. The way the Guinevere is just knocking everyone up with that flicker combo, definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Exactly, but I think that was, as you said, it was so, I would say, very goodly analyzed by you. Plus, I think they caught Granger off guard in the bottom lane side. Meanwhile, you can see there will be the transformation. No, that will be the spatial migration type. No, that was done. There is the traction beam from that. Okay, Boxer taking down that Lucas, and this team is getting the turtle as well. Meanwhile, we can see that's a free hitting Kimi, and Kimi, okay, now Mega Kill will go towards the Mizo. This time 401 with that Fredrin is just absolutely insane. And which just got caught off guard again, and I would say he just needs to maintain, I would say, a little bit good positioning. So far, Team Zohunt is on a roll right now. Meanwhile, I think the goal lead is also with them, approximately 4k or 3.5k.
Yep, and I'm really sad for Witch right now because first it is the Guinevere. If you manage to get save or use Purify, there is the second skill coming in from the Kimi, always aimed up at the Loi, and she's not having a good time. And even if you manage to escape from that, there is the Baksha with the first skill stunning Witch down. It's like Witch does not have the freedom, but now look at the bombardments coming in, the implosions, and Lucas finally in the Ninetales form will be taken. Aminal when taking that double kill, Prime onto the exchange, and that beam will be taking them down. Okay, a 3 versus 3 trade right there. Only 2 people remaining from both the sides. Okay, 3 and 2. But then that was a good exchange from both the sides. Them recalling. But if you do see, macro is in the hands of Team Zohan with a higher tower advantage. Not even a single tower touched by IGN right now.
Yep, and Cho is a martial arts master model after Bruce Lee. His gameplay rewards timing and control with knockups mobility, guys. Remember that. Bruce Lee is Cho.
Remember
And
and see your cup.
yeah. Okay. Okay. So meanwhile, you can see attraction beam into the mid line side, and as we are seeing the itemization from both the sides, this Kimi, she is just straight away rushing down that holy crystal. Meanwhile, this Beatrix has a very good despair and anti-heal for that Lucas as well. Wonderfully, I would say, a good itemization from Beatrix. Meanwhile, I mean, Lucas is doing good, but that rocket bombardment, as you said, is actually making us difference, in positioning for that low E. Meanwhile, we can see there is a first Lord giving okay, there is Zoden giving away the vision, there is the concealed gameplay coming from Family Problem. Might not get anyone, will go for, okay, he doesn't have the flicker for now, will have to fall back. There is the guy that they were looking for, the Lucas, he will have to fall back for now. I mean, you can see the bottom inside. Aaron might be in danger here. Will have to fall back for now. Just chill guy will be using his Tartarus Postinence for that Granger. Granger is giving a lot of damage. We can see that there is the spatial migration onto that Zozin, and we can see a demonic force from the Gregor Samsa. Well, this Rusty Mizo just too much beefed up right now, jacked up to get taken down from anyone from the side of Team IGN.
The macro, the micro, all in the hands of Team Zohan right now. IGN needs to pull up. The first lot of the game also coming up. And right now, Louis really needs some space right there. But look at that family problem. Will be taken down for the overextend. But at the same time, the Beatrix having onto that one kill. Aaron manages to survive in a very, very low HP. Prime might look for some snipes right there. Meanwhile, from behind the scenes, what an amazing gameplay coming in from the Lucas. But right now, he is trying to do something right there. Still, guy using up that revitalize 3 versus 2. The orange being contested, the retribution being used up as a waste. Right there. Once again, we have the Kurama. Okay, meanwhile, off cam, it will be Prime who will be taking down the Louis. Once again, the Lord being taken down by Team IGN. The next contest near the purple buff right there. Like IGN getting zoned out so bad right now. The Granger is a great pick, but then again, there's so much tankiness coming in from Dusty Mizo as well as the Baksha that even if his ultimate, they're not able to reach Prime, they're not able to reach Win. So both of these squishies are not having the best time of their lives. With the zone, it's pretty hard to facial migration with the flicker, the ultimate coming in, and Gregor will be taken down. Next on the stopping block is Scooby-Doo, and look at the damage coming in from Kimmy. Chosen will also be taken down, but meanwhile, Win will be exchanged, and Aaron will be taken down, and finally, Witch is the only one remaining, the last man standing. Will he be able to defend? Will more turrets be taken down? Will Zohan go in for the Lord, or will they just look it for a final push?
I think they might go for the final push because Witch is in a very heck of a trouble. He might have the Purify, but once he gets caught out, it's just GG's. But never mind, there is Gregor Samsa there for to save the day for them. Meanwhile, we can see Witch is getting a heck of the poke from that Prime right there. This Prime Snipper, I think this rocket launcher's ultimate is just too much. I would say a hassle to handle because if Tiger engages, there's a rocket launcher from the Beatrix that creates a gap between the backliners, the damage dealer, and the Tiger and the Phobius, and they are left all alone into the front line and just taking one heck of a damage from that continuous damage dealer Kimi as well as this Prime. Meanwhile, Dusty Mizo, he's just very very good with his timing with his this Fredrin. I think that's why his Fredrin is just a classic pick because that Fredrin, he's just using Appraiser's Wrath onto that slither of HP, getting a crucial kill of that Aaron in the previous team fight. There is again a stun from that. Okay, that will be a very distraction pulse from that Kimi and getting the 2 kills, a little bit of the Tiger and of that Phobius. And this might seal the day for Team Zohunt to take the free Lord that they need right now to end this game. And they will go for that Lord as well.
The frontlining from IGN isn't enough. Chosen is trying to give some vision out there, but then I mean, the implosions, like, who will you even use those implosions on? Because Fredrin is stunning you, Baksha is stunning you. There's so much stun that even Chosen himself cannot move. He cannot walk. And the way they are just melting down right now because the Beatrix is farmed and the sniper is hitting so hard. We can just look at Gregor already. Such a low HP. Same goes for Witch. Right now, Zohan forcing the last line of defense. The Lord marching up. The lanes are synced pretty well from all 3 sides. This might be the final march, and that's what I'm saying. The front line from IGN isn't able to defend. They're just getting melted down. We need a good implosion from Chosen, but there's so much zoning in coming in. Both the Phobius as well as the Tigreal might not be enough for that, but look at the Baksha going in for that last time. From behind the scenes, Lucas trying to do some play right now. The damage coming in from Prime and the beam coming in. Okay, the inclusion on 3 members finally. The Lord has been melted down, buying crucial time for themselves, and IGN barely surviving. Meanwhile, which will be taken down? Gregor in a very tight situation. The flicker and the spatial migration trying to take people down. The double kill for Prime right there. A triple kill for him. Will he go in for a maniac? It's for him, a savage. But no, here comes the immortality looking in for that savage. But no, the game will get ended. And with this, Zohan will be getting a spectacular clean sweep from IGN.
I think Kimi got the last kill, just like Morang games. They don't give away the Savage as well. So, yeah. So this was the game number 2, guys, and this was a clean sweep from that Zohan to that IGN. Wonderfully executed draft from the side of Team Zohunt. Team IGN, they were short on some plays, but a massive macro, I would say, micro differential from the side of Team Zohan, but a major macro differential from the side of Team IGN right there. Because I would say they tried to execute their draft, I would say, properly, but failed in the execution just after the first turtle fight. Because Zosen just tried to zone out that Tigreal, but he just had that. Sorry, not Zosen, but yeah, Zosen tries to zone out that Fredrin, but fails to do so as he has that one dash left. But after that first turtle fight, then the second turtle was just free turtle for the side team Zohan. Then again for the third turtle, no context was there. So when you lose neutral objectives like this, plus the late game power spike is just too much insane for the side of team Zohan right there. You got the prime, you got that win, you got that Dusty Mizo as well that can soak up the damage for the backliners just too. And this family problem just created a lot of problem for the side of team IGN right there, because we have seen what a crucial stunts that this guy has given with the spatial migration knockups. So now I think Ashley is with us. So what do you
Yeah.
have to say about this game, brother?
I want to say that the difference in the mindset, if you want to see, in the first set, we saw Lucas in the hand of Team Zohan and they went for a Franco to counter it down. We all know that Franco is a good counter of Lucas, but in a tournament, in a match like this, you should think about other heroes as well. We cannot bind to only one hero. We cannot go for pick a hero for just for Lucas. Like if it's the case, then in tournaments we're gonna see a Ling will be countered by a Saber, like something that. So that's the reason they went for a Guinevere this time. Zohan didn't went for a Franco, didn't went for a Valentina. They went for a Guinevere. And actually, I will say the Guinevere Rome is. I just saw the Guinevere Rome is kind of back. The way he plays was totally onto the mark. Everywhere you wanna see the special migration was popping up, and with the flicker, it was totally in a smooth way. He was handling all those things, and then Asuya, did you saw that the witch was giving a lot of damage from the beginning, but in the end didn't got that support from the Phobius as well as from Lucas. So do you think that was the reason witch got down again and again?
Well, which, just like I said before, didn't have the space. He was getting locked down. Teen CC for which couldn't do anything. Same goes for shows, and even he's going in for those implosions. He's trying to make some plays, but there are so many stunts. He's just getting locked down onto his path, and he's like a free hitting target right there, just getting melted down by two marksmen from the side of Team Zohunt. And just like I said before, like Louis was being marked. At the same time, there was no option for Team IGN to go behind the scenes, take down the Kimmy, take down the Beatrix. They didn't have any path for the flanks. Meanwhile, there was like the way the rest of the team, the Guinevere, the Franco were providing the path to Zohan to go take down the Louis, to go take down Aaron. And that's the key difference right here, that your EX laner, your roamer, are they able to provide the utility to go
Yeah.
behind the lines, dive behind, take down the crucial important members that you really want to take down.
Yep. Generally, you want to say that the back they don't have a backline diver, even though they got the Phobius. Who can disrupt the backlines, but he was not into the fights. And before he comes to the fight, Kimmy's damage was a lot, hell a lot, we can say. She was just melting down the tanky ones as well. And in a moment, at a red buff fight after getting the first lord, the Kimmy was about to take on the Tigreal, but it was okay because of Witch being there. He just back off at that point. I just saw that thing, and this is why Zohan's literally played 100% gameplay. They just gave that 100% each and every lane, getting that macro onto their side. And as Solsky mentioned about the micro, little bit of micro differentialities between Zohan, is because I think that it's okay. When your Beatrix is doing great, when he's catching up the witch again and again, when he's catching up Lucas as well, he's at a mark. Having a 10 to 11 kills already, you can just ignore it. They ignored the bot lane. If you're gonna see in the whole match, they ignored the bot lane, but then they were up with the getting the mid lane into their side. Winning the trade, losing something is it's not countable. What do you think, Souls?
Hmm. I mean that you just you just gave away everything into the table um, as you could have pointed it out.
Yeah.
Means basically a very good summarization of this game, and you just as you said, they didn't touch the bot lane. You just watched this game very peculiarly well. And I think they just trusted Aaron just too much, that they didn't visit the bot lane, as well as going for the side of Zohunt as well. They didn't visit because they trusted the Prime too much. But that trust just showed out that how much Prime is capable of. But yep, this was the game number 2, guys.
Yeah.
And game
And
number
it's
2
a clean
has, yes sir.
It's a clean sweep, and with this, two clean sweep we saw today. It was Tartarus taking on Pick to Plummet, and then we saw it was Team Zohunt taking on to the IGN with a 2-0 win, we can say. And with this, we'll be going back today. The tonight fun is over, guys. We'll be coming tomorrow for another 2 BO3s in the Swiss stage. Let's see who will be having the fun in the Mythic Showdown. And guys, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Just do hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to like the stream, share the stream to your friends, and let's meet you tomorrow, guys. With this, Solski, Asuya, me, STZ will be signing off from Mythic Showdown. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
ये तारा इनको बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट